basketball. I have this thing. I'm working on the predictions thing. I have this thing I'm talking about where in times where here it's kind of a spoiler, but people are here early, so there's this book called The Confidence Map, and it kind of how do you put it? It's like this. The Confidence Map. And it's about people's attitudes to certain oh wow, that's my camera. Like positions of agency. So basically, it's like, how certain are you about what the future is going to be like? If it's low, it feels like there's a big fog of war. Like you don't know what the next 3 years are going to be like, let alone the next 10 years. Like it feels very uncertain. And then control is how much agency, how much control you feel like you have to influence and change the future. And if you are both low agency and low certainty, people get really upset, which is what the world feels like right now. The world feels like a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are in flux. No one knows what the fucking world's going to be like. And you don't feel like you have a lot of power to change it. And so it makes people very upset. And the book, I mean, I think this, Peter Atwater's a genius. I've listened to him talk on a lot of things, but this book is very smart. And he says in this environment, when you're in this low agency, generally people have like two key, there's like 5 reactions, but the 2 big ones are, number 1 is like retreat. Number 1 is like, you just stop caring about it all and you dive into, pop music, watching the, whatever, Avengers, whatever, like just games, everything. Yeah, whatever. Fiction books, whatever. Just retreat from the whole thing and go to what you can control with like friends and family. Like just like completely check out. That is one thing. And then the other thing is like it's kind of like acting out, which is what the other half of the population seems to be doing. Like everybody I know is either retreating from everything or going certifiably insane and like yeah, you could say fight or flight, but there's like 5 different ones in there. Anyway, I do feel like there's a part of that. Like I obviously I still read and think about the news every day, but I've definitely been more interested in like I watch every Lakers game and I read our NBA and I read our Lakers and I like, it's just more fun to like debate and think about something so trivial. Like US invading Greenland, when like the real serious shit scares me, which is like, why are we wasting Luka's prime with this terrible bench? Like that's too scary. So I have to focus on the news to like relax. Okay. I'm like, why the fuck did we get the greatest trade of all time and we're just wasting Luka's prime? And then LeBron's last few years, we're just wasting it. You know what we need is good defense. We should trade Luka for AD straight up. Anyway, how the hell are you? How the hell are you? Did you see T1 wax HLE this morning? I did not, but it's cool they are. Who's the new T1 AD? Why am I blanking on his name? Who's the new T1 post Guma Pays? Dude, Pays is unreal. He's so good. He's so insanely nasty good. He's like, it's crazy to replace Guma and instantly be like, fit right in. And I don't know, that's crazy. That's wild. Kyria freed from Guma jail? Yeah, it's just as crazy to trade up from Guma, and it feels like they did, which is a little bit wild to me. Can I ask a personal question, or would that ruin the vibes of the stream? You're a first-time chatter. That's so nice of you to even ask. No one else bothers to ask. Everyone just comes in and screams their question whenever that. Yeah, you can happily ask whatever question you want. It's your first-time chat. What's your question? I'll answer it. I appreciate you're even considering my feelings. Yes, I'm bald. That's oh, thank you for the 16 months. Evan Herndon. Evan Herndon. Well, did you get your message? What's your message? How do you find a balance between feeling like you are enough and the constant desire to want more? Wow, what a powerful question. Do you know that's the type of question that philosophers have been trying to answer for millennia. Like the answer to that question could be the entire religion of Buddhism. You could go very, very deep into that. I'm not sure I could give you a direct answer, bro. You're asking me to solve that human desire? No, I don't know. How do I personally manage it? I guess I will say, I actually answer this question perfectly on the Stan Show. Because I've been thinking about it ever since like November or December. And I've been thinking about how, if I flash forward 20 years or whatever, I'm going to really regret if I waste all this time focusing only on trying to get more views on an algorithm and make more money. Like, honestly, no one's gonna fucking care, dude. The second I stop uploading, it'll be like, oh yeah, like Atrioc is good. You'll forget about it instantly. It doesn't matter. Like, it's fun to do, and I appreciate it, and I like the community, but it's like the second I stop, it won't mean anything. And so I've been thinking about that a lot lately, like what I need to do with my time. And one thing I said, I told this on the Stan Show, but I'll say it here. Should I say it? Yeah, I said it on the Stan Show, so I'll say it. Okay, I'll just say it. My grandmother, who I love very, very dearly, ran out of money. She was a teacher for many years, and they don't pay teachers enough, and it's not fair. And she had a dog get sick, and the cost of that caused her to deplete all her savings. And so, obviously, without even thinking about it, I've stepped in, and I gave her a good chunk of money, and we're getting it all figured out. And we're going to, of course. But doing that made me think about, it made me think about all of the things that she did for me over the years. It's like, I guess I was trying to analyze why, for me, it was a no-brainer. Like, why do I love this person so much that it wasn't even a thought, even though it was like, a good amount of money. And the reason I realized is because this person, if you think about it like a tree or something, she planted this tree of love like so long ago. Like, my grandma's done I can think of a million different little things my grandma did just out of the kindness of her heart that is like blossomed. And I think about, like, am I doing that enough? And it's like, no, not enough with people in my life. Not enough. I'm not doing the little, like, I remember she used to take me and Ari out when we were broke college students to Smash Burger, and we loved it. And we looked forward to it all the time. And she would come by, like, she would drive. It was a long drive for her in Arizona. She would drive up and she would take us out, and we would look forward to it all the time. And like, she just did that to spend time with us. It was like, she wasn't like, maybe in 20 years, if I run out of, it's like she just did that. And I think about, do I do that enough? And the answer is no. And so I have been thinking about that. Anyway, but obviously, if you're in a different space in your life, I totally understand, especially if you're younger. It's like sometimes you have to go all in on trying to do what you can to get self-sufficient and try to make some money or get some stability. I understand that. I understand that's how the fucking thing works. And I'm in a different space. But here's the thing is, like, I know that if I went all in on trying to just optimize for money or views or whatever it is, that is an easy route to be really unhappy later. I think. And to be lonely, what I really want is like diehard 20+ year friends. I want friends that I really have been through some shit with. You know what I'm saying? And So this is all things I've been thinking about since November. It's all like you guys. Like, this is my dear true friends. I want my dear true friends. I want like all of you chatters. And so what I really need to do is start streaming 18 hours a day so that we can never, ever be apart. No, I don't want to get too savvy with it either, because this is all something I'm working through right now. But your question brought it up, and it made me think about it. And it's things I've been wrestling with, and I've been doing that more. Like, I have just been, like, I've been driving out to see people for lunch, and I have been calling people in my family. Called my other grandma for her birthday recently and had a long chat. And like, instead of just calling her and doing the thing where it's like, happy birthday, and then a little update, I like sat down and did a long talk. Like, I asked questions. I gave little updates about my life that I wouldn't normally do. I wasn't like trying to end the call. I was like trying to, and I felt better. I felt good after doing it. Like, it's just like a thing that is just a good thing to do. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but that's Fire God Lucas said, I quit my job to watch your stream full time. Bro, you picked, first of all, you picked the worst month. Second of all, you picked the worst streamer. Full time? Bro, you could have 2 jobs and watch my stream full time. Bro, you don't need to quit your job. You can squeeze it in between 2 jobs and a full family, though you can watch every hour of my content. Guys, keep an eye out if Librarian shows up, because I have a bone to pick with the Librarian. Is the Librarian? Oh, you're here. Okay. I got a bone to pick. I got a bone to pick here. Let's kick off with this. It'll be fun. Let's kick off with this. Okay? I'm in the middle of no upload January, which only has an upload every 2 days. I'm in the middle of no upload January. I'm not farming a clip on you. Don't flatter yourself. Don't flatter. I'm not farming a clip off you. You already farmed a clip off of me. Okay? Where is it? How do I find this? Library. Okay. So I get tagged in this fucking tweet by Librarian. Where is it? I get tagged in this tweet. He says, watch your back, Atrioc. Watch your back. Okay? Interesting. So I'll watch it. By the way, all right, here's this honestly, for someone who enjoys economics, this is actually a classic Northern Lion rage bait clip. This is like when you like a movie and you watch NL like shit on it. This is like actually a rage bait clip. And so I'm going to use this as a test. Okay. This is actually a test if you've paid attention or you just like hear economics words and your eyes glaze over. Can you figure out what is wrong with what is being said in this clip? Because can you figure it out? If you've watched enough Big A, I feel like you should know this, but if you don't, okay, let's see.
What do you think about Japan's current fiscal policy? Well, I think long-term having negative real interest rates, is inevitably going to lead to deflation for the country, which could be catastrophic. I know they've been riding it out for a long time, but I think they really do have to do some quantitative easing as an economy if they want to secure like their long-term economic sovereignty, to be honest with you. I mean, it's pretty sick as a tourist that you can go there and buy a cup of coffee out of a vending machine for the same price that a cup of coffee used to be in like 1997. But I have to imagine that if you've lived in Japan for that whole time, you're probably like, wait, this actually sort of sucks. So those are my thoughts on Japanese fiscal policy. Anybody else? Anybody else want to take a shot at the king?
Every word is wrong. Every word is backwards. Every single word is backwards. It's all backwards. Oh, negative real interest rates, which Japan no longer has, would cause inflation, not deflation. It's talking about monetary policy, not fiscal policy. It's Japan is worried about real inflation right now because the value of their currency is taking, not that it's the same price of a cup of coffee. But anyway, and then yeah, I think he said quantitative tightening when he meant easing. Anyway, that's not the point. That's not the problem I have with this. I think that's just a funny clip. I think he's actually was saying words on purpose. The funny part is that after this little Twitter thing goes up, then you go to the fucking librarian's channel. And he's got the fucking big A clip font. How did he even get the font? Dude, I don't even have that font. I have to ask Adish to add the text if I were to make the thumbnail. Where'd you get the fucking font? And then he pops it on there.
What do you think about Japan's current fiscal policy? Well, I think long term, having negative real interest rates, you know, is inevitable.
Bro, bar for bar? Bar for bar? You got a whoosh sound on there? Oh, motherfuck, dude. The top comment, big A on a break. Per Northern Lion. That's funny. That is funny. Big A looking balder than usual. I think he grew some hair, actually. Very good. Very good, very good, very good. Very funny. +2, +2, +2.5 you're in Japan. Currency being devalued and all that. Bet my lawyers will be in that's what I said. And then I responded and I said, every lawyer I called about this hung up on me. And then he said, I've seen your lawyers. They're 3 children in a trench coat, which is true. He does know ball. He does know ball. Always forget neg. Damn, deep cut. Deep fucking cut. You got to play Isaac to get back at him for stealing your whole flow. All right, that's my next step. That's my next step. Quite the early stream. Any reason or just for the lulz? Will I need to adjust my schedule to accommodate these streams or is this a one-off? Can we act normal? Can we just act normal? We don't come. What is this? What? Can we just be chill if I just go live at 4:30 instead of 6:30? Does it need to be a fucking thing? I don't have a schedule for it. No, I don't. I thought I'd go live a little early because I wanted to, bro. That's all I did. I wanted to fucking shoot the shit, talk, app. I don't have a set time. This is January. I told you consider all January as a bonus. Bonus Jonas. What happened to the gym stream yesterday? Internet was terrible. I'm so close to cracking the gym stream. Step 1, get good audio. I did that. Step 2, get a tripod and a mobile setup. I did that. Step 3, get on the actual professional internet side of it. I don't know the password. So I was using the fucking shitty one and it crapped out. So I'll get it. I'll get that figured out. And then I have to get one of those little mics, the little mic that you pin to your shirt. Once I have that, it's game over, and I can just gym. I'm going after this. I'm going every day. I stayed late, bro. I stayed late. I wanted to quit. I didn't quit. I mean, it's bad that I'm already thinking about quitting every time, and I'm only 16 days in. But I actually keep pushing myself, which is a W. Today's a short stream? No, I don't know. Today could be longer. I got a lot I want to talk about. There's a lot of crazy news. And today, thankfully, it's kind of like a little bit funnier. All the things I've been talking about have been so insanely serious, but these are a little bit goofier. I mean, they're still wild, but by comparison, they're nothing. And so, yeah, relatively, all these things I want to talk about. And then, we could watch like an interesting video. There's like a cool Bloomberg video I wanted to watch. Maybe there's like I don't know. So we go watch some shit. Also, I'm just down to talk with chat and vibe. Hey, Big A, long-term UK Big A YouTube frog. I used my one-time first viewer pass. Thoughts on UK politics, where two main parties are incredibly unpopular and being replaced by parties further left and right to the two-party majorities and being a four-party system? Yeah, it's not just happening in the UK, it's happening all over. The center is no longer holding. In the US, because we have a two-party system, the farther or more populist right-wing party just ate the old Republican Party. They just, Trump bit them and swallowed them and then skinned Mitt Romney and used his head like a hat. Like that old party is dead. And now MAGA has become a Republican Party. They've absorbed it. And then the same thing is sort of happening with a more furious fight in the Democratic Party. There's a more big split there. It's gonna play out this year with all the primaries. There's a ton of primaries this year that'll have like a more progressive candidate and then a more centrist candidate, and then there's gonna be a lot of fights. Hopefully after the fights they kind of unite, but there's like a Mamdani led path to taking over more of the party in a way that Bernie Sanders did not do. That is like a path. That's what's happening in America. But then all in more parliamentary parties like yours, yeah, it's happening. It's happening in, for example, in Germany, they have this center left party, center right party, and they've been back and forth basically. And now there's the rise of the AfD and then also Der Linke. I probably said that wrong, but that's the left wing. That's like the more left wing one. And these are like getting more power. They're getting more interest. Die or D. I say der because it's funnier. D. Okay. Die Linke. Anyway, that's what's happening. And it's happening, it's happening in France. It's happening everywhere. That's the center is not holding very well. Ow. And, my underpinning of that would be economic problems worldwide. Inflation, slowing economic growth, aging populations, just creating big problems, and the status quo ain't working. So everyone's kind of freaking out and going in different directions. Anyway, that being said, for the UK, what it looks like is the big worry is Nigel Farage. What's the reform? Dude, they're like a torpedo. They're going crazy. Keir Starmer, current PM of the UK, is deeply unpopular. He's for sure next vote out. Labour's out. Tories out. Looks like reform's going to be huge. That's just the way it's headed. I don't know. That's the direction. But you could see things always change. Why aren't you doing anything about this? I'm going to create the Glizzy party. Panic, throw out a Glizzy joke, and you don't have an answer. And that'll save all the problems. I can't. plus 12. World politics saved. Was good, big pimp. They really did you do it in the yard? Yeah, they fucking did. They did me dirty. That being said, bro, I can't tell you what a motivator it is. I can't tell you what a motivator. Dude, I'm in the gym and I'm getting that extra rep every time, dude. It's a motivator. Even as a joke, it's a motivator. I don't, when I streamed last night I tried to stream at the gym. I had already, done a ton of jump rope. I had done my squats and I'd done the fucking running and I was sweating. Then I tried to stream, then I couldn't stream. Then I stayed. I was like tired and I stayed until I did every other set on the list. And I almost quit like every single one and I just kept going. And I didn't leave till like fucking 8:30, 8:45. And it's because, dude, they're going to call me fucking fat, which is like insane. Are you going for more cardio or strength building? I guess both. Dude, I have a truly unk reason. This is gonna sound very very like middle-aged dude coded. I don't even have a goal weight. I don't have a goal lifting number. I literally have jeans that I could wear in 2024 that I can't really wear anymore. And it's like, I would like to, it's like, why can't I should be able to wear these. That's like legitimately, if I hit that, then I'll feel like I did it. That is my motivator more than anything. And it's because they're really nice jeans. They also could have shrunk. Thanks for looking out for me. Eleanor, thank you for the 25 months. What if your thighs and ass get too big for them from lifting too much? I am doing squats every workout, so maybe that will happen. No cap. In that case, I guess it'd be worth it. I guess that'd be fine. I don't know. Well, I'll know it when I know it. My main, and also like, I really want to be able to, we play basketball on Sundays, and game 1, I'm a menace. All right, I'm out there, I'm hustling. Game 2, starting to slow. By game 3, I'm fucking gassed. And I'm just not playing good defense, and I don't have the engine, bro. So I want to have the engine. That's my he's the white Luka. Yeah. That is the fucking Luka. Dude, Luka first quarter, most unstoppable player in the world. Luka in the third quarter, he's a cone, dude. What kind of cycle are you on? Oh, I'm just doing I'm doing HGH, Tren, some experimental shit. I ordered an online limitless pill from China. Any kind of thing that promises quick results. On Mexican ephedra. I got peptides. I got peptoids. No, the only thing I'm doing is I do a little scoop of creatine. A little scoop of creatine in water. That was Adish's advice. He's on duck eggs. Coffee every morning. I don't like coffee, as you well know. Joey3, thank you for 29 months. Nadius, thank you for 26 months. Bo the Hobo, thank you for 74 months. Holy shit, you're the guy smuggling millions of tons of fentanyl into the country? It was me. It was me the whole time. It was all for a pump, dude. I heard that Fent gives you a good pump. So I've been doing it. For real, my brother's getting into peptides, and they ran a story on NPR about it, just talking about it. Kind of nuts to take up of random drugs. I guess it's not going to kill you. Dude, it does feel like everybody's... maybe it's the way the world is. Maybe it's this crazy rat race we're all in. But it feels like everyone's trying to get a boost. Everyone's looking for something that's like gonna fucking give them that little edge. And yeah, I think they're all kind of ineffective. For me, it's crack. There you go. Did you listen to the ASAP Rocky album? We're talking about J. Cole Fall. I talk about Fall Off. I'm excited for Fall Off from J. Cole. He's been hyping it up for a long time. The first track he put out was pretty good. Pretty good. Conceptual, backwards in time track. I haven't listened to ASAP Rocky. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Fucking true. Crack is so damn stupid to do. Just buy meth. It's way better value. Meth head lecturing crackhead on value. That's a good. That's a good. It's a better bang for your buck, dude. It's a better bang for your buck. I have an interview with Bell Helicopters, and I'm begging to get finally free of unemployment life. It's been 2 years and no real job. Spirit bomb! Everyone give Logisticus your energy. We need a spirit bomb for you. God willing. I believe in you for this interview. WWW. I'm sending you my energy. I'm sending it. You will be the one that gets out. You know what you should do? I think based on the other advice of this chat is like just do a little meth before the interview, or do some peptides, or just give yourself an upper so you show up with a little bit of that pep in your step, a little bit of that energy, an attack for the job. You know. Sabas Arango, thank you for the 36 months. Should we all call and give him a good reference? Bell Helicopters gets 3,000 calls. Hey, just want to say, I forgot his name already. He's a good guy. He's a great chatter. He saved my baby from a fire. I'm starting at my first job out of college, and I'm starting as a stem cell scientist at Menaris for $30 an hour. What should I do? You shouldn't advertise your $30 an hour job to this chat. They're going to come steal it from you. Somebody in here is going to fucking show up, talk shit about you, steal your job. Already on it. ChatGPT can do it for less. Hey, Big A, real talk. Do you remember anyone working at Twitch that's willing to refer me to? Dude, a lot of people have been asking me this lately. I don't. My contacts at Twitch are limited to like one burned out guy who's basically trying to he's like trying to slip through the cracks. He's trying to pretend like his job doesn't exist so that his name's Dan Clancy. His name's Dan Clancy, and he's trying to just avoid doing any work and get paid and slip through the cracks. So I don't have anybody that can give you like a great referral, nor do I think Twitch is doing a lot of hiring right now. I'm sure there's some jobs. People have been asking me though. If there's I know NVIDIA's still hiring because they're the most valuable company on damn earth. If there was a job that you truly think you're a great fit for at NVIDIA, I don't mind sending a referral, but you just got to know that it's a long shot because they're fucking particular. How much is the paid chatter position? It's exposure. Whoosh, you just got whooshed. That's your first paycheck. I expect to see you here every day dropping banger lol W's. Do you think you're going to try the triple dipper for this year's Chili's Day? Is Chili's Day a real thing? Chili's Day. I think you made that up. I did see a funny tweet though that I just retweeted. That was I don't even know what game this is. Can someone tell me what game this is? He said, "These goblins pissed me off, so I destroyed their village and then turned it into a Chili's." Oh, it's Valheim. I think that's fire. I think that's fire. Atrioc, I do not have a job. Can I be your assistant? I've driven better men than you insane as my assistant. You don't want the job. You don't want the job, bro. There's a person that keeps randomly dropping dollar generals everywhere in that game. That's funny. Hey, Atrioc, big fan. Came from YouTube, for on Twitch. Love your content. Watch every day. Thank you, Ocean47SW. The paycheck's in the mail, buddy. Thank you very much for the kind message. How's your January going outside of the news? How's everybody's January going? I do think I've never had the biggest gap between still no job, hunting. Dude, I legitimately, I don't know if you're, I mean, I know the job market's bad in general. I'm very aware of that. But man, the fucking entry level computer science job market is just, if many of you guys are like, you graduated computer science, it's like, fuck, dude. It's fucking hard. It's like, I'm not trying to doom her. It's just like crazy. Like people I know that are very talented. It's crazy. The film industry is dead right now. I mean, the film industry in LA is brutally bad. I thought it's kind of popping off in like Atlanta and parts of Canada. I thought it's like all the films moved elsewhere, but in LA, it's like, can we get some more collabs with Squeaks? I love them, dude. Everyone's Minecraft pill lately. I'm just not a Minecraft guy. All the collabs are Minecraft based. Like, what do we don't play Get to Work? I don't play Minecraft. I'm not a Counter-Strike guy. I don't know. There needs to be a right game. If the right game came along. But I just can't get into it. Minecraft. Spank City 2. Spank City 2, huh? You are a Minecraft guy, you just have to believe? No. I mean, we played Minecraft way back in the day. Me, Stans, Lud, Nick V, and a couple of Lud's mods, I guess. This is like the earliest fucking thing. And I learned redstone from first principles, dude. I learned how to make all the automated shit with redstone. I learned I was building little custom projects like stairs that come out of the wall when I have a hidden, I was going crazy. So I did love it. It was awesome. But now I can't imagine doing that. Secret waterfall entrance? Yeah. I didn't just make a door, bro. I had a hidden thing where I made a painting of a stone pickaxe, and then if you went up and you twisted the pickaxe in the painting, it unlocked a hidden staircase underneath you that went down to a secret giant statue of a pickaxe. That shit was cool, dude. And it turned on all the lights. And, I had the automated chicken farmer and do you have any secret passages in your real house? Yeah, that was the number one thing I was in the market for. Secret passages. TBH, you sound like a Minecraft guy? Minecraft's fun, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. How's the year health going? Thank you for the 36 months. It's going quite well. Your health is got me. I don't know. I mean, maybe it doesn't show, but I have never slept better. Like I actually am high energy. I feel good. I feel I don't know, upbeat. I don't feel like I'm on low power battery, which is like a nice thing. That's the creatine. You should actually play Geometry Dash. Dude, I used to play Geometry Dash on Is this wrong? It's a different game. I'm thinking of Xbox 360. You would log on and you could play Geometry Dash for free or something. What game was that? Geometry Dash. Oh, it's a different game, I think. I think that was Geometry Wars. Oh, it's Geometry Wars. Dude, I love this game. Does any old heads remember playing this game on the Xbox 360? This game ruled. It had like this, it had sick sound and light and color, and you could just vibe away an afternoon on this game. Put on the DS. Can I hear the music from this? Geometry Wars music. Well, this takes you back. Yeah, this game was pog as hell. Holy. Oh, he's nasty. He's insane with it. Yeah, I mean, that's just one of the GOAT games, without a doubt. Can't relate. I played Snake on my Nokia in 2010. Probably also played that. Hey, Atrioc, there's a person that made an Atrioc recap 2025 site. That person is me. What do you mean an Atrioc recap? What does that mean? What is an Atrioc recap? Atrioc recap. Atrioc recap YOK 2025. Stream frequency. Atrioc streamed 63% of the year. Insane numbers. What a fucking hustler. What an incredible hustler. Streams per weekday. Monday was the most because Marketing Monday was always on time. Sunday, day off. Okay, incredible. Very consistent, honestly. Category frequency. Reacting. Nearly all streams included Atrioc waffling or reacting to something. Yeah. Yeah, it's the year eclipse, baby. Yeah, 93%. Bro, first half of the year was like House. We finished House, and then we got into Smallville. That shit, we had a Smallville era. And we keep the Sabbath holy. Did you know the Dan Clancy Power Hour was the only stream where all Atrioc did was waffle? This is a 1 hour stream where I just talk shit on Dan Clancy. It was a legendary stream. A truly cinematic masterpiece. Let's just find a random line from this movie, to kind of laugh along. You don't want to be an asshole taking it too seriously, but it's like he does it for the meme, and you have to kind of knows. It's like it just makes a nice guy in spirit. He'll do something goofy and friendly, but like he'll wait till it's like a really close competitive game. It's all friendly, but like you kind of do want to win. Everyone's getting kind of excited, and then he'll do something goofy and lose you the game. And it's not like it won't be mean spirited. He'll be like, oh, it'll seem like he's kind of being the nice guy, but it kind of takes the wind out of your sails, you know? It's like, it just makes it so like the whole thing's about him now. You know, everyone knows he decided the winner. It wasn't like a real honest competition. He does it for the... I just like said things I'm annoyed with people, and I said them all about Dan Clancy. No, it's about Dan Clancy. All of this stuff is about Dan Clancy. Longest streams. I did a 12-hour day one Silk Song stream. That's wild because it still took me like 4 months to beat the game. Maybe not, 3 months. Atricon was 8 hours. Mario 64 Speedrunners vs. Hunters was 6 hours. Trump inauguration and stock competition was January 20th. Ooh, can we check in on that? I guess it's almost at the end. I guess I'll just wait. We'll wait. Peak with friends 6 hours. Did you know Atrioc blew his nose 47 times during streams? Has he locked in on the deviated septum surgery yet? No, I haven't. Ari keeps telling me to do it every day. So I guess I should do it. It's not Coke. But I do need to probably get a deviated septum surgery so as to avoid that. Atrioc went to adjust his thermostat 45 times. There's no way you counted this. Joler. Ari appeared in 62 streams. Let's look back on one such time. A lot of Jolers.
It's good, huh?
That's good.
You want it? Okay.
Oh, thank you.
For House MD watchers
Here's the
only.
thing, though, babe. This popcorn's really salty, and I don't have a drink. So
Oh, I can get a drink.
yeah, I can. You?
You don't have to be like me, where I like.
Dude, I'm just
English word
just
for, like,
hypothetically. I don't know. Like, it would be really nice if I had a drink.
what's the you're the asshole. What's the English word for like you're trying to throw indirect? Dropping hints. Yeah, you don't have to drop
I'm
hints.
dropping
You just
hints.
tell me direct. Like it's fine.
That popcorn does look
What
really
kind of
good.
drink do you want?
Wait, you guys are spamming YTA
I
in
want
the
that
present
taste.
and in
You
the
know that raspberry
past.
thing you made yesterday with the little.
Well, technically my mom made it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay. I
This
really
is the
love
beginning
that.
of the year of kindness. Thanks, babe. And that's how it's done, folks. The art of dropping subtle hints. She didn't even notice that I actually wanted a drink. I was able to gaslight her into thinking that it was her idea. But actually, I, without getting called out, figured out how to manipulate her into getting me a drink. Figure this all out in my course, my 5-step course called Becoming the Man Within You. And I made a lot of money off that. And I had a whole year of alpha male grind set stuff, and it did super well. It was big for me. It was big. Get Smarter Saturdays. Atrioc reacted to 311 GSS-like videos. Here's the tally of his most frequent watched creators. Can you guess who were the top 3? I was going to guess how money works. Not in the top 3? Wait, I don't know. Top 3? CoffeeZilla, probably. Fern? Jimmy High Roller. Wall Street Journal. CoffeeZilla. Almost Friday. Almost Friday makes sense. Almost Friday makes sense. We hit every Thursday, like the whole year. Throughout the year, Atrioc covered news on many well-known people. Who did he talk about the most? Trump, Elon. That's got to be the big two of 2025. Trump, Elon. I had Trump derangement syndrome for sure. Dan Clancy could be in the top 5. Dan Clancy could have been in the top 5. I think Jerome Powell, maybe Scott Bessent. Scott Bessent more than JD Vance or Xi Jinping. That sounds crazy, but let's check. Trump, of course. Elon, number 2. Jerome Powell, number 3. Sam Altman, Sammy Altman, all the OpenAI stuff. And Scott Bessent in the top 5. I am economics pilled. Luka Doncic 12, Lena Khan 9. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We made the 9 count though. Speaking of Mark Carney, I don't know about Mark Carney today. Collabs. Who's the remaining 2? But who's number 1? I don't know. Ludwig? Squeaks. Wow, really? Lud and Squeaks. Interesting. I would have thought in the last year, like Linkus and Spec. Games by duration. I played old school RuneScape for 1 minute, StarCraft 2 for 8 minutes. 8 minutes. I booted up StarCraft 2 for 8 minutes. What did I even do? Ricochet for 13. Straft. Okay, this is okay. Acecraft for 47 minutes. I didn't even get paid for that yet. I still haven't gotten paid for that. I only did it because I was getting Ludwig level money and I still haven't fucking gotten paid. Minecraft RTS. That was kind of fun. Exhibition 33. Is this you taking? Okay. Silk Song, 2 days. Wow. Wow. Hitman Blueprints, AoE 2, and Silk Song. Interesting. Did you know Atrioc coerced 27 first-time chatters for a topic? Of those chatters, 19 chose to respond instead of leaving. So 8 people just dipped? It's actually not bad. In my mind, it feels like 1 out of 2. It feels like half of them don't even respond. They just get the pressures too much. Stories. Oh, I told this same story 3 times. That's funny. That's a hoot. That's a hoot. Felt like more? No, it didn't feel like more. Wait, this is honestly not bad. Navalny Pickle Rick should be told at least 5 times. That's a great story. Twice is not enough. And okay, here's a show of hands. I'm going to go through these stories. Let me know in chat if you already know them. Let's just test. Do you know the bridesmaid ChatGPT speech story? Or if you don't know them, I guess. Just put no if you don't know them. Do you know the January 6th Tommy Innit story? Does anyone not know the January 6th Tommy Innit story? There's a lot of no's, bro. That's why you got to tell it more than one time. That everybody's watching every stream. You don't know the January 6th Tommy Innit story. The story is that Tommy Innit caused January 6th. It's full stop. That's the story. He was one of the rioters. He ripped everybody into a frenzy. That's the fucking truth of it. I'll start the year out. I'll tell it again. No, the actual January 6th Tommy Innit story is that on January 6th, while the Capitol is being assaulted, I was live tweeting about how many viewers Tommy Innit was getting. I was like, damn, Tommy Innit's got 400K viewers playing Minecraft. That could fill 4 stadiums. And then people were like, is this really the right thing to be tweeting right now? And I was like, damn, should I leave this tweet up? And then officially I deleted it. It was the wrong time. It was the wrong time. And it was like literally the minute to minute as it was. They were in the Capitol. Yeah. And I was like, Tommy Innit's going crazy. All right. Do people not know the Navalny and Pickle Rick story? Because that is truly a one-of-one generational story. That's like not even an Atrioc story. That's just that crazy story of life. Yes, no. So many new frogs looking down on another Atrioc chatter because they don't know a fucking a story that didn't even make it to a Big A clip is insane work. It's insane work, bro. XUC and Atrioc's Honda Fit. That's a classic story. Juno bails on watching Midsummer. These are all great stories. Okay, anyway. Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. The question every chatter wants the answer to. Year of kindness. Atrioc crashed out at least 235 times towards his chat. From some chatters' interpretations, this will be even more. If you're Atrioc, there's one more slide from you below. Presenter's note. Hi, Atrioc. Thank you for a wonderful year of content. I've learned so much about the world through you and your incredibly entertaining content. If you couldn't tell, I watch all your content on the Atrioc VODs channel. Any chance to accept my message request on Discord? Months ago, I created the tier list maker site with chat integration you were talking about, but I don't think you saw it. Anyways, I'm a giga unemployed CS grad. If there's a chance you need someone like me in any capacity, I'm super, super down for anything. I will 100% check this out. Thank you for making this incredible website. The data is fake news. It's all flawed. I've never repeated a story, and I've never crashed out on chat, and I had a good year of kindness. But outside of that, I appreciate the skill in creating it, and I will reach out. I will reach out. Woke propaganda, I think. The only way we'll know, by the way, just as a fucking aside, if you measure it for this year, 2026, and the crash outs are higher, then this still was a year of kindness. It doesn't necessarily mean zero crash out. It means that it was a lower. Like, this could be kind. What if my default is like 500? Then I was like really kind, actually. Crash out now? I think I kind of am. I kind of am. Morphine, thank you for the 27 months. Dude, this guy's asked this 50 times. I'm going to crash out right now. You asked this 50 times. Who the hell cares? Stop asking me. Not the very social. We should let me as a word. I don't want to scroll past it in chat anymore. Stop posting it. What am I supposed to say? What the fuck am I supposed to say? I see you as a worm right now. Okay? I see you as a worm right now. So it wouldn't change nothing. You have the right, you have to go to the gyms more times this year than crash outs last year. All right, deal. But all the roids I'm taking are making me even angrier. Flowery Leviathan, thank you for the 12 months. Happy New Year. 15 years in the game, thank you for the 36 months. Lil Birdie, thank you for the prime. Madman Chris, thank you for the 6 months. Who got more roids, Bradley Martin or Brandon Ewing? How do I know who that is? Bradley Martin. Why does that sound familiar? XQC story is still too soon. Far too soon for me to be telling that story. Far too soon. Oh, yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Okay. We got I was saying there's big news. And this is the big news. This is the insane news, bro. Actually, one more thing. One small thing. Wait. One small thing. Just needs to be said. Needs to be said. This is just some news that came out. Let's watch this clip of the where's the clip? Okay, here, yeah. The German chancellor had a clip. You wanted to say something. And I just think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting clip.
Ich möchte, dass wir irgendwann mal wieder akzeptable Marktpreise in der Energieerzeugung haben und nicht dauerhaft aus dem Bundeshaushalt die Energiepreise heruntersubventionieren müssen. Das können wir auf Dauer nicht. Und das geht, ich will das hier sagen, es ist fast schon trivial, aber ich will es nochmal sagen, es war eben ein schwerer strategischer Fehler.
It was a what? It was a serious strategic mistake?
Ja, aus der Kernenergie
to phase out nuclear energy?
auszusteigen. Wenn man es schon macht, hätte man wenigstens vor 3 Jahren die letzten verbleibenden Kernkraftwerke in
And if you're gonna do it, you should have at least left the last remaining nuclear power plants in operation?
Deutschland am Netz lassen müssen, damit man wenigstens
3 years ago?
die Stromerzeugungskapazitäten
So that you at least had the electricity generation capacity?
die wir bis zu dem damaligen Zeitpunkt hatten.
And it's thunderous applause?
So machen wir jetzt die teuerste Energiewende auf der ganzen Welt. Ich kenne kein zweites Land, das es sich so schwer macht und so teuer macht wie Deutschland. Wir haben da etwas übernommen, was wir jetzt korrigieren müssen. Aber wir haben eben zu wenig Energieerzeugungskapazitäten. So, das wollen wir jetzt schnell besser machen. Die Kraftwerke sollen gebaut werden. Die Genehmigung, wie gesagt, haben wir jetzt kurz bevorstehen. Da sind alle notwendigen Dokumente ausgetauscht. Und
All right, I mean, guess from there. If only. If only. And then, I mean, this went viral everywhere. There's like a million posts like this, and they all got 50,000 likes. Man, it was so dumb. It was so dumb, bro. Will they start building new ones? I think they can't now. They're going to do fusion, hopefully, but not like actual nuclear power plants. The expertise is gone. The cost is massive. They got to know. Maybe they could do it. Small SMRs, yeah. How dare you besmirch the name of clean, beautiful coal? They do love coal in Germany too. They do love their coal. I sent you a motion graphics pitch on Discord. If you want, I can watch on stream. You sent me a motion graphics pitch on Discord. What's your name? Motion graphics pitch. Okay, I'll watch it. But just bear in mind, this is not... I'm not guaranteed using it or buying it. Just be, I can't know. I haven't seen it. W Motion. You got to respect the hustle. Motion graphics.
About the state of the economy, and I want to hear your thoughts, okay? I want to pitch you a bigger short.
Okay, this is Jenga blocks.
Got it. Okay.
So this is all deposits at U.S. banks.
Oh,
okay. You'll notice after COVID, with all the stimulus, there's a surge of new money in U.S. banks. They have to do something with. Some of them do the quote unquote safe option, and they put it all into U.S. Treasuries long term, like Silicon Valley Bank.
That didn't turn out so well.
Didn't turn out so well. They collapsed. Okay. When people try to withdraw, they can't sell the long term Treasuries.
Hey, looks kind of nice.
The stock goes to zero. It's a collapse. They have to be bailed out, or at least bought by someone else. But other banks decide all this new money is prime. Dude, I remember giving this pitch, and he just kept being like, "Yeah, hurry up." Like I'm telling the audience, Steve. He's like, yeah, move on. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking, I'm building the case here. For lending, they have to lend.
Yes.
They'll lend more than ever. So they might have to relax their lending standards in things like auto loans, credit card loans, home equity loans, HELOCs. Yeah, it's Zoomer attention span. Anyway, let me see if there's anything else I can see in this. These are very nice. Track that they have done this. So around the time that, yeah, we should talk. Like this. So here is from 2009. This is TDR, which I believe is troubled debt restructuring.
Right.
This is basically modified loans.
Right.
These look really nice. These look really nice. I mean, yeah, maybe there's a version where it doesn't take up the full screen and like I can still be speaking or whatever and it pops up, but like they look really clean. And that is something that could help like improve the quality of some of the clips for sure. I don't know. I mean, it's tough because sometimes I like the clip to be, it feels very raw and real. I just pull up paint and like draw something and you get the idea. I don't know. Because there's a lot of channels where it's like guy at desk talking and then they do fancy motion graphics. And I think it feels a little sterile or something. So I don't know. I gotta think about it, but I think they look really good. You don't need it for stream, you just need it for LS. I mean, I wouldn't use it for either. It's mostly for like the video. Like what if I talked about something and then when the video came out, it had like nicer looking graphs instead of me just yip yapping. But like Adish, yeah, but Adish can't do that. Adish is not a motion graphics guy. Like technically this, or maybe this package works really easily and then Adish can just put it in. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me talk to Adish about it. Let me see what we think. We can always try it and see if it works or better or not. Chilean Zat, thank you for the 20 months. Oh, what was I saying before? Okay, so we talked about the nuclear thing in Dude, all the comments are brutal. Took him like 5 years in an energy crisis to figure out that shutting down perfectly good reactors was maybe not the move. Top headline today in the news that was obvious to everyone else from the beginning journal. I just think that's funny. Okay. But now I got to talk about something that is like truly insane. Now I do want to listen. I had a video. Where's my video? This is ladies. Is this the video? Okay, yeah. Once one thing. Thank you very much.
Nobel Peace Prize? Well, I just think that President Moon was very nice when he suggested it.
Mr. President,
They're going to get a Nobel Prize for a lot of things if they gave it unfairly, which they don't. Prime Minister Abe of Japan gave me the most beautiful copy of a letter. I am asking them to give you the Nobel Peace Prize. I said thank you. Many other people feel that way too. I'll probably never get it, but that's okay. They gave it to Obama. He didn't even know what he got it for. And he won the Nobel Peace. Oh, do you know this?
Donald Trump, I think, is interested in the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah,
And here's the thing. If he, in the first few days of his administration, gets a photo of him at Camp David. I mean, we already reviewed this. But I made the long shot call. Where did I? It's like here. Terms of is a different situation. However, I do think similarly, both sides are eager for a ceasefire at this point. So if I were to give Trump any chance for like a good 25, I don't think it'll be on the economy. I think if he's able to negotiate peace in Gaza and in Ukraine,
Didn't get either.
he has a decent shot at rocking this fucking chain. I'm putting out a prediction I think is probably going to be unpopular with his chat. I think there's a decent chance. That is the monkey's paw curled. The monkey's paw curled, and instead of him getting it through any possible normal reason, we got 1 year later. This is a January 17th upload, so this is exactly 1 year later. It's still within the 1 year. We got the most insane possible outcome, where yesterday, Maria Machado, the rightful winner of the Venezuelan election, who got the Nobel Peace Prize, went to the White House and presented it to Donald Trump. A buzzer beater! A buzzer beater! Can you think of any funnier way to win, quote, win a Nobel Peace Prize than to invade a country, kidnap the leader, put that leader's vice president, actually, say that leader won by stealing an election, but then put that leader's vice president still in charge so that the actual person that won the election that you're disputing has to come to you and give you their Nobel Prize so that you can help them get their own country back. And he's so excited. He's so excited. Dude, this meme is he's cheesing, bro. To President Donald J. Trump. That's so funny. He got it. And it's so crazy. And bro, now he's got the FIFA Peace Prize and the Nobel Peace Prize, bro. I mean, that is the happiest I've ever seen Donald Trump. He's cheesing. I think this actually cracks me up. This is like a small story. It's just so funny. The predictions markets count it as a win. No, they don't count it as a win because in an unprecedented move, the Nobel Committee had to put out a thing on their official website, 7 days ago. This is the official Nobel Peace Prize website. A Nobel Prize cannot be revoked, shared, or transferred. That is so funny. Bro literally found the only war way to win a peace prize. He found the only way to win a peace prize by doing military action. I think that's so funny. And they had to fucking revoke it. By the way, you know, we have made the joke that like, because it was kind of a shocker. Listen, you know, little backstory, right? Maduro steals the Venezuelan election. He does. He lost it. He stole the election. Dictator mode. Crackdowns. Machado and her party should have won. Donald Trump flies in with helicopters, personally, in a ghillie suit. They kidnap Maduro. They bring him back. And the expectation was on the day one, they were going to try and put Machado in power. She won the election. The idea was to get rid of Maduro. But instead, what they've done is keep Maduro's regime exactly the same, just without him. And in fact, the crackdowns that they were doing before have like tripled. Like they're doing more crackdowns than ever. There's no like freedom in Venezuela. It's the same party doing the same things, except that there's another threat on the leader for oil. And so, as a gift to Trump, both sides are throwing things at Trump for their favor. So Delcy Rodriguez, who is Maduro's VP and is the current ruler of Venezuela, or the person running Venezuela, she basically, you know, I could get in the weeds here, but look, Venezuela has this heavy crude oil. Here, I'll make a barrel of it. This is a heavy crude oil. Okay? And they can't ship it right now. They got nowhere to go. And when they pump it, you can't like stop. You got to turn off the process. It's pumping every day. And so they can only store it in these tanks. And these tanks can only store so much. I'll say it's oil. Oil. Okay? And so they fill up, you know, some tank. They go to the next tank. They fill the next tank. They're running out of tanks. And if they fill it up and they don't have any storage, they have to shut down the entire process, which is not only extremely expensive, but extremely damaging. So they have to get rid of it. So what Delcy Rodriguez did is essentially give it to Trump as a bribe. And Trump then took a large, it's a couple tankers full of oil, is going to sell it on the open market, and all the money is going to a Trump-owned bank account in Qatar. Like, it doesn't go to the United States. It doesn't go to Venezuela. It is going to a slush fund that he owns. And people are saying, how can this be real? It's just so funny. Like, this would be Iran-Contra. This would be Watergate. This would be like one of the biggest stories. But instead, it's like nothing. It's like a blip. So he's got this giant oil slush fund for Venezuelan oil, and they have to get rid of it. So she tossed it up as a Hail Mary. But she didn't expect there's someone else giving an even better gift. And that is the fucking Nobel Prize. And now, you know, at the fucking press conference, and this sounds like a joke, but this is how it's playing out. At the press conference, he's like, no, there's no way Machado, we can't give it to her. She doesn't have the respect. She couldn't run the country. Which, by the way, I'll give you the charitable rationale for that. You know, Trump says crazy things, but there's a charitable reason. And that is that Venezuela is it's in a nightmare. It's an economic disaster right now. There's chaos. There's a power vacuum. And Machado, even though she won the election, does not have control over the military or, you know, the sources of physical power in Venezuela. And there's a feel that if they just tossed it to her, that it would lead to open chaos in Venezuela, similar to what happened in Iraq. So the idea is, but understand that when you make that calculus, when you're saying, okay, we're not going to actually give it to the person that won the election, then you've removed any sort of like moral angle, because Maduro was a bad leader, but taking it from Maduro and giving it to essentially Maduro's number two And then she just does more brutal crackdown so you can get the oil. Yeah, there's no democracy to it. There's no gain to it. It's just about trying to get some oil. So all this was going this way until literally yesterday, and now they're talking about maybe trying to get Machado because she gave him the Nobel. That's what it took. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's crazy. And it's just sad that like she knew this is what she had to do. Like Trump is so predictable in what he wants. Machado knew that she had to give her Nobel Prize in a big ceremony and like show up and say this stuff in order to get it's childish. It's crazy. It's anyway, some of the clips are pretty funny. Here's why, and that is a fair answer, by the way. I mean, it's a fair answer, but it like undermines why you would even go in the first place. Why are you backing Delcy Rodriguez and the remnants of the Maduro administration instead of Machado?
Maduro regime, and not with Machado, who has the support of the Venezuelan people.
Well, if you ever remember a place called Iraq where everybody was fired, every single person, the police, the generals, everybody was fired, and they ended up being ISIS. Instead of just getting down to business, they ended up being ISIS. So I remember that. But I'll tell you, I had a great meeting yesterday by a person who I have a lot of respect for, and she has respect, obviously, for me and our country. And she gave me her Nobel Prize. But I'll tell you what, I got to know her. I never met her before, and I was very, very impressed. She's a really...
Like, okay, the beginning of this, because you could say, okay, maybe he's doing a cold calculus. You could say, fuck, morals be damned. He wants the oil for strategic reasons. Cold calculus. We're not going to have any power vacuum. We're going to put it to Delcy Rodriguez. But then he ends by saying, yeah, she gave me the Nobel, so I'm really rethinking things. There's no fucking plan at all. And then... They asked him why he would want someone else's Nobel Prize.
Yesterday you accepted Maria Machado's Nobel Prize medal. What do you intend to do with it, and why would you want someone else's Nobel Prize?
Well, she offered it to me. I thought it was very nice. She said, you know, you've ended 8 wars, and nobody deserves this prize more than in history than you do. And I thought it was a very nice gesture. And by the way, I think she's a very fine woman, and we'll be talking again.
Bro, it is crazy. It's crazy. 8 wars, she said. That's so coincidental because that's what you always say. No one's ever deserved it more in history than Donald Trump. Nobody has ever deserved it more in history, is what he believes. And so now he's essential. He doesn't actually have it because, again, you cannot transfer it. You don't suddenly, you know, like if I walk, it's not like the One Ring. I can't walk in and steal the Nobel Prize and then suddenly I'm the guy that brought peace. You don't hold it for power. It's something that's awarded to you. Okay? I don't like steal LeBron's MVP trophy and then everyone's like, oh, well, you're a great basketball player. I'm just holding the trophy. But he got it. And I cannot believe that it worked. That if anyone else, that would be the most transparent attempt at bootlicking. And it worked. Let's see what Machado had to say.
Prize committee saying that you couldn't transfer your Nobel Prize to anyone, especially President Trump. You did today. Why did you do that?
Because he deserves it. And it was a very emotional moment. I decided to present the Nobel Peace Prize medal on behalf of the people of Venezuela. And I told President Trump where I found also inspiration to do that. And it happens that 200 years ago, General Lafayette gave Simon Bolivar, Venezuela's liberator, a medal bearing the face of George Washington. And it was in tribute to Bolivar's fight for freedom in the continent. And Simon Bolivar kept that medal with him until the rest of his days. So 200 years later in history, the people of Bolivar are presenting to the Washington's heir in retribution, in this case a medal, that's the Nobel Peace Prize medal, for what he's doing to liberate Venezuela and for freedom in the Americas.
Maria.
It's just so funny. She didn't mention the 8 wars, though. She didn't mention the 8 wars. I mean, it's cartoonish. It's cartoonish. Is that the first time someone gave away their prize? Yeah, so my understanding is the only person to accept a Nobel Prize as if they got one. This could be wrong. Let me confirm. People have sold theirs before, but it's like something you buy as a trinket. But someone who gifted it to someone else was the Norwegian author Knut Hamsun. And in 1943, he gave it to Nazi propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels. This guy. So that's the big two. Goebbels. I always say it with an R, because that's how I heard it pronounced. But it doesn't read right. Anyway, that's crazy. This is so... I mean, you know what, though? Shout out the long shot, dude. Shout out the buzzer beater. Trump will get a Nobel Prize. Okay. You go back to January 17th, 2025, before he even took office, and I make that call? That's a buzzer beater, bro. That's an insane monkey's paw. What the Cauchy at the time must have been 1%. Insider? Bro, it's just so funny this the way to win a Nobel Prize this way is one of the funny. It's like if The Office was a geopolitics show. I don't even know how to say it. To force the to kidnap the leader of a country and make the other leader give you their Nobel Prize that they got for fighting for freedom. I think it's so funny. What's the problem with storing oil? Weren't there sanctions when Maduro was in power? They faced problems now. There were sanctions. Venezuela sold oil to the Russians and to the Chinese. They're part of this. What's the name of the? Not like shadow tankers. Whatever. It's some network of tankers that use crypto and sell all over the globe. Now, they were able to sell. Right now, there's like a naval blockade. There's a naval blockade on Venezuela, so they can't sell anywhere else without going through U.S. warships. And so, because of the blockade and because they have nowhere else to store the oil, Delcy Rodriguez just offered it up to this Trump bank account. Is there proof he forced her? He didn't force her to do it. He didn't message her behind the scenes and say, "Give me your Nobel Prize." It was just that she recognized that the only way she would not be sidelined in her own country that she won the election of is if she gave Trump a Nobel Prize. That's clearly what he wanted. She read the room. She read the room, and she knew that glazing Trump and giving him the Nobel were the only way in the conversation to not have the entire country still looted by the Maduro regime. Still sidelined though? I mean, yeah, we'll see whether or not they actually change strategy. But yeah, I respect her for going for it. It's a fucking nobody is like, oh, you don't. It's Donald Trump's prize now. It doesn't stand for anything. Thank you. Thank you, Glizzy Man Dandy Chicken 69 for the 2 months. Can she no longer claim to be a Nobel Peace Prize holder after giving it away? I don't. What does a Nobel Peace Prize give you in day-to-day life? She is trying to get control of Venezuela. That's her goal. What else would you do with? It's not a token that you can trade for things. You don't need to hold the actual physical item. People know who won the Nobel Prize in 2025. I think it was pretty basic for her to have the gall to do that. I think from her POV, it's an easy thing to do, especially when you have the. When you have. Let's see. Wait, this is Trump on January 9th? After this ad? After this ad for Vicks Vapo Rub?
We also have a young lady that received the Nobel Peace Prize. She's going to come in and pay her regards to our country, really, to me, but I'm a representative of the country, nothing else. And she's coming in sometime next week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, and we'll see how that is.
If she gives you her Nobel Peace Prize, will that change your view about her running that country?
Well, I have to speak to her. I mean, I'm going to have to speak to her. She might be involved in some aspect of it. I will have to speak to her. I think it's very nice that she wants to come in, and that's what I understand the reason is, because Norway is very embarrassed by what took place. I mean, they're getting decimated. Look, whether people like Trump or don't like Trump, I settled 8 wars, big ones, some going on for 36 years, 32 years, 31 years, 28 years, 25 years. Some just getting ready to start, like India and Pakistan, where already 8 jets were shot out of the air. And I got it done in rapid order without nuclear weapons. I can't think of anybody in history that should get the Nobel Prize more than me.
Bro, it's embarrassingly cartoonish. It doesn't mean anything when you get it this way. When you constantly fucking hound for it and then use the power of the presidency in America to basically force your way to getting it, doesn't mean anything. Where's the joy in that? I guess, but look at his face. The joy is apparent. The joy is apparent. Like he's cheating. He's got it in his hands. He's fucking cheesing for it. He's happy now. He got it. It's like, dude, you know what it reminds me of? This is such a millennial fucking reference. It reminds me of who's the fat kid in Dursley? Dudley. It's like Dudley getting the extra gift for Christmas. just fucking screaming and crying and shitting and pissing until they get him one extra gift. That's what it reminds me of. It doesn't. You say like you have non-millennial references? It reminds me of like fucking Blade. Or is it Blade? I don't know how to say it. It reminds me of fucking Drain Gang, you know? Yeah, it reminds me of like how I'm part of the Drain Gang. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like just when you see a really good TikTok, you know? Anyway, insane little Nobel story. I just thought, I thought, you know, the context of it is obviously crazy, but this event is hilarious. I will never deny it. I actually think winning the Nobel Prize this way is one of the funniest political events. It's like no context in American politics. Winning the Nobel Peace Prize in the most warlike way possible. Wait, what was the last clip?
Someone else's Nobel Prize.
Was she off?
Oh, I already watched that one. What else? What else was there? What else was there? What else was there? Is there any downside to this? Let's see. Not like Nobel. It's funny. Like my understanding is the reason he wants it so bad is because Obama got one. But Obama's was also bullshit. Like, Obama's Nobel Prize was like in the first month of his presidency. And it was basically like essentially Europe as a whole just saying thank you for not being George Bush. And then Obama said, I don't even know why I got this. That's all it was. It was just literally like, thank you for not being George W. Bush. And then, but that one little moment has been in Donald Trump's head for a decade plus. And now he finally got his hands on one in the craziest way. Imagine the next president getting one for not being Trump. We'll see. Depends on what happens in Greenland. Depends on what happens in Greenland. It's not going to go to... Oh, wait, I got a topic. This is like a light topic, and I want to make a... I actually want to do a clip on this, but I'm not in clip-making mood in January, even though I have one every 2 days. But I want to bring this up, dude. It's... This may sound like a long shot, but I truly feel like Marco Rubio is going to beat Vance for Republican nomination. I'm starting to sense the winds of change are blowing, bro. I think Vance don't have that dog in him. I know you're gonna sound like it's crazy, but I'm just reading the optics of the room, dude. So I know a lot of people have mixed feelings on what happened to Maduro in Venezuela, and I've already said I think it was a bad idea just for stupidity reasons. I think the long-term consequences are going to be. I mean, yo, just a fucking. I'm not even per Atrioc meme, but like, bro, we're not even a week into it, and I said this on the day one of Lemonade Stand. Didn't they just announce they're going to do private military boots in the ground? Where is it? 24 hours ago. 24 hours ago, bro.
The Trump administration is preparing to use private military contractors to protect Venezuelan oil and energy resources instead of sending U.S. troops into the country. That's according to two sources.
There's just no possible way. I know everyone's like, oh, they'll just do whatever you say because you got Maduro. That's not how protecting power is going to work. And there's no way you're going to be able to fucking pour tens, hundreds of billions of dollars into the country to try and repair the broken oil infrastructure without having to be able to project physical power, which means troops, which means quagmire, which means, long-term getting tied in the morass of a decayed, economically disastrous country. And it's we're just doing time-delayed Iraq, bro. Anyway, so I fully believe it's stupid on that level. But throw that aside, right? Throw that aside. The actual taking of Maduro, especially among like the Republican base, was popular because it was a military activity that was executed successfully, like cleanly. It was just well done. The military did a good job with it. They were given a task and they did it really well. And so it was popular. It polled well among the MAGA base. And what's funny to me is that you look at that press conference, Vance is nowhere to be seen. It was only Rubio talking, and he came off looking like the calm, understanding one. He came like the one that had some rationale. And then you look at the press conference around the fucking ICE murders in Minnesota, and it's like Kristi Noem and JD Vance, bro. And that shit's unpopular as hell. And now JD Vance is like 24/7 on Twitter, like hardcore defending. Like he's the attack dog for ICE, which is like got even Joe Rogan and fucking Dan Bilzerian going out against it. And then Marco Rubio is presenting himself as like the presidential one. And I swear to God, I think, I'm sure Vance is still far, far in the lead on all the betting markets, but I bet you. Yeah, dude, look at Rubio. He's climbing, bro. He's climbing. And I just don't think JD got that dog in him. Maybe. Now, here's what I will say. Let's just be real. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a stack. If Marco Rubio's name was Mark Ruby, this would be neck and neck. If he was Mark Ruby, this wouldn't even be a problem. But because he's Marco Rubio, it might be harder. But I just think from the Republican side, I think they're starting to see him as more of the. I mean, it's clear if you watch this administration that only Marco Rubio and Scott Bessent can even do anything. Like they're the only ones that have a remote ounce of effectiveness and like thinking more than 2 feet in front of their face. And so they've been put in charge of almost everything. And then Vance is basically just like the online attack dog. He's just the guy that's like there just to triple down on social media. So I literally think this is going to be a closer race than this looks now for the Republican side. What about Kristi Noem? Kristi Noem is one of my least favorite people on planet Earth. Talking about Kristi Noem makes my blood boil. Kristi Noem makes me so angry. She's just a personal embodiment of just hearing her speak, bro. It's demonic. I don't like Kristi Noem at all. But Trump's my dog. But Donnie T's my dog. I just think he's got bad advisors around him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's got these really good ideas, and then people like Kristi Noem are not executing them. He's got bad boy R's in a way. Can Trump run as VP? I actually don't know. Has that ever been tried? Can you be president twice and then run as VP? I mean, it's not like he fucking cares about the rules, bro. Be real. But like with the rules as written, can you run as VP? Can a former president run for vice president? This has been answered apparently. Let's see. Wait. Is this possible? Wait. Close inspection reveals that this view misses the mark. The relevant constitution is the histories and revisions. A twice before elected president may become vice president through appointment or through election, and then may thereafter succeed from that office to the president. Wait, what? What?
So I made a video recently about the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution. The premise of it centered around the possibility of Donald Trump being legally allowed to run for a third term. The video disproves this notion by going over the actual wording of the amendment or change to the Constitution in detail, as it capped the term limits for the president to just 2. Whether or not the word consecutive is in there, Steve. Since then, I have received an enormous amount of questions, comments, personal emails, and direct messages about all manner of harebrained schemes in which the 22nd Amendment could be circumvented, ignored, overruled, or discarded so that Donald Trump could indeed run for a third term. The comments on the screen are a few from just yesterday, some more worthy for consideration than others, but I thought there should probably be some follow-up, as each of the scenarios we are going to cover in this video have been asked multiple times by YouTubers. Let's get into it. The first theory that we're going to cover is called the eternal vice president. Here's an example of a comment that I get about this scenario. Forgive what might be a silly question, but is Trump prevented from running as vice president next time?
Let's see what he says.
This is not a silly question because the 22nd Amendment only says that if they've been elected 2 times, they cannot be elected again. It does not say they cannot become vice president. Now, I will admit, I don't personally see Donald Trump playing second fiddle to anyone on a presidential ticket. That, and he'll be 82 years old in 2028. But let's run through it.
82 years young, baby. He's barely old enough to be a senator, let alone stop him from being president. This guy's, he's hitting his stride.
Constitutionally to be thorough. For starters, we can't keep our blinders on while reading the Constitution. By going through only the 22nd Amendment, this scenario may seem entirely plausible. After all, it mentions no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president.
Dude, Biden's only been president once. A Biden-Trump ticket where Trump is counting on Biden getting too old and dying, and then he takes the spot, and they kind of settle their differences, and we finally get a ticket that has some age and experience and wisdom. The boys are back.
Or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term
Enemies to
which
lovers?
some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of the president more than once.
Okay.
If this were the only wording reviewed, then yes, Trump could run infinitely as long as he served as vice president.
Okay.
In this scenario, he is not being elected to the office of the president. He is being elected to the office of vice president, to which there is little wording in the Constitution regarding the position. But Amendment 12 is also a part of the Constitution, and it straightened out the way in which electors vote for presidents and vice presidents.
Okay.
I made a video about it recently, which you can view here, and I'll leave a link in the description below as well.
The video is Trump Walls 24. Is this possible? That's a fucking thumbnail. Damn, that's a
Anyways,
thumbnail.
the very last sentence in the rather wordy amendment throws this out there. But no person constitutionally ineligible to the office of president shall be eligible to that of vice president of the United States.
Well, then that's fucking...
It's almost an afterthought, like it was thrown in last minute. But this final sentence of
that shuts the door on it. That shuts the door on it. Well, they thought of it. Somebody, when they were writing it down, was like, man, someone might try something crazy. You want to just write that in? All right, toss it in. No one would do that, right? But it's like, dude, it's like the Nobel Committee having to put this out. And it's so funny that the Nobel Committee had to come out and make a statement. Because it's like no one ever thought of this before. The idea that you could transfer it to someone and they are the holder of the Peace Prize is such a funny idea. Aimed at no one in particular. Yeah. Do you think FIFA Peace Prizes can be transferred? Absolutely not. That's a sacred honor. That is a sacred honor. Nobels are willy-nilly. You can toss that around. Anyone can have it. But a FIFA Peace Prize is like, it means something to have earned it. And giving it to someone else cannot transfer the legacy and the honor that it carries. You're imbued with it. Did you watch the Newsom Shapiro pod? Afraid to say I didn't. Afraid to say, as exciting as it sounded, I didn't end up watching it. You can believe it. I didn't. It's the thing about Ben Shapiro's voice is I just think it's so beautiful and melodic and harmonious. Just hearing Shapiro's voice, my ringtone is Ben Shapiro because it like wakes me up and it's exciting. Ooh. 90 Nobel Prize or something? Yeah, it's true. There's only been one FIFA Peace Prize. Do you know what I'm saying? A Nobel is like common as dirt. Tons of people have them. But a FIFA Peace Prize is like, it's a one of one. Got to go bed in the UK. Love you. Good night. Cheerio. Cheerio, governor. Can't. Obama never got a FIFA Peace Prize? That's a fact. Is the Nobel Prize kind of ran through? Dude, men's rights guy. Red Pill talking about the fucking ran through Nobel Prize. These characters we've created are quite funny. Okay, one more piece of news. I don't want to talk about. I think this one's more serious than the Nobel, which I thought was goofy. And that is that let's see if I have clips here. Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, has been making some plays, making some power plays. And the one he announced today was, despite Canada in 2024 teaming up with America to put 100% tariffs on Chinese EVs. As of today, Mark Carney removed those tariffs as part of a new trade deal with China. And then put out this, I don't know what, this is like a, it's like an aura farming, what do they call it when they make a TikTok? Fan cam. It's like a fan cam. He put out a Xi Jinping fan cam. That's wild. So now there will be Chinese tariffs on Canadian goods reduced and Canadian tariffs on Chinese EVs have been reduced. And you know, the immediate and obvious takeaway is, man, that this is like the natural result of putting maximum trade pressure on your closest allies. And I think Carney said it pretty well. Let me see if I got it.
For receiving, thank you, Chairman Zhao Leji, for receiving me, my ministers, and our delegation. This is indeed a very important meeting and the most auspicious start to the new year and to a new era of relations between Canada and China. We're heartened by the leadership of President Xi Jinping and the speed with which our relationship has progressed in recent months. This sets the stage for these important discussions.
I mean, the speed is crazy. If you think about it, you go to 2024, Canadian-Chinese relations were pretty near all-time lows. You know, they were low. And so I gotta say, like, Carney is reacting here in a way that he's forced to by the way Trump has been behaving on trade. He has to diversify. He has to find other trade routes for China. Otherwise, they're at the mercy of America flipping tariffs every 2 seconds.
On a wide range of issues where we can be strategic partners. From energy to agriculture, to people ties, to multilateralism, to issues on security. And we believe that this...
I mean, it's fucking bananas that America's, I'd say, formerly closest ally. I'm talking about 1 year ago. Like, top 3 closest allies. And northern neighbor is talking about security ties with China. What the fuck? This is crazy. And then I saw this. Well, it's not like, you know, let me see. Let me see if I can find it. This really sums it up, bro. This one. This is polling Canada, Canadian net favorability of different countries. After this 1 year, China negative 49% favorable. We're negative 50. We tanked so hard. It's not like there's like a ton of love for Chinese relations in Canada. There's been, they've had a fraught history. But we tanked it so hard. And now we have fucking Mark Carney and Xi Jinping making security deals and trade. It's just such a easily predicted backfire. It's an easily predicted backfire. Russia negative 86. Yeah, it's wild. But it's not just China. I think Mark Carney has done he's full speed ahead on trying to diversify. So not only is he doing the China deal, but I think he joined something with Europe as well.
There are others of us who do believe in multilateralism. So, as you know, literally, I'm coming here. And
no, that was a different thing. He wanted the UK nukes to protect him. Yeah, he was trying to get into security, like an Article 5 defense pact with Europe. Trump actually the GOAT leader of China. High key, dude. High key. High key. How does that fit into the Don Roe doctrine? I mean, it doesn't. Unless you want to start a war with Canada. I thought Joe Weisenthal had a really good take on this. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. I just think it's summed up. But he tweets all the time, so I'm trying to find it. I just think it's like there's just no here. Wait. Wait, give me 1 second. I think this is Well, by the way, I mean, listen, is right now I think it's like 50,000 EVs. In China, in Canada, these EVs are going to be insanely competitive. Like they're going to be an incredible deal. They're going to sell it instantly. Like if you're trying to get a Chinese EV in Canada, get ready because it's right now it's a limit of 50K. They're going to move so quickly. They're going to be just the best value and cost. Yeah, I thought this is good because there's a lot of people freaking out on Carney's announcement. A lot of responses like this: how Carney is being stupid and spiteful, how BYD vehicles will spy on Canadians. The important thing to bear in mind is that none of these observations matter. The effect of Trump's trade policies is to give China a major North American breakthrough. It's like this is a self-own. That's what I'm trying to say. This is a self-own. There's just this would not have happened if we didn't constantly try to bully the northern neighbor. They are forced to do it. Any leader with any ounce of intelligence would have to diversify. Otherwise, they are constantly at the mercy. And it's just crazy. It's like this is the most predictable outcome. The idea that all these actions, all these like these tariff actions, they act as if the counterparty has no agency. Like there's nothing they could ever do. When in fact, like they only work in the short term, but then that person will do everything they possibly can to not be at that mercy again. They're going to do everything they possibly can to get out of under the thumb. So it's just silly, man. It's just silly. You see what Isto said? User Isto Inc. Is Atrioc buying every Canadian chatter a Xiaomi car? No, I'm not going to be doing that. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of BYDs in Vancouver, I'll tell you that. And they're cheap. You know, right now it's a small percent. Like 50,000 cars won't be that big of Canada's car market. But if that expands, I mean, there is the threat. You know, Canada does not produce cost competitive EVs compared to China. So whatever exists of the Canadian car industry would be hurt by this. It's not like in a dream world, again, it would be like Canada, America, Europe, Japan, Korea teaming up on a low but steadily rising tariff on Chinese EVs to try and rebalance trade. But like America blew that up. They blew up the chance to do that. And they had tariffed everyone all at once. The Canadian auto industry is American companies are pulling out of the country anyway. Yeah, but they're pulling out of the country because of the dumb tariffs. Like that's why they're pulling out, and then they're not being replaced by Chinese factories with jobs. The jobs are gone. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. No thanks. I want my Xiaomi SU7, please and thank you. Hey, me too, brother. I also want one, but I'm not getting it. Anyway, yeah, and then also Canada's like most massive industry is the export of heavy crude. They're finding this energy partnership where they might be able to sell it to China, which makes them not so dependent on America. It's just a smart move. They're still dancing a tightrope between two superpowers, but they're diversifying, and I think it's just a foolish consequence of what Trump's doing. It's just short-sighted. But I'll go up to Canada, buy the car, and then drive down and smuggle it in. I'll smuggle it in, bro. Overall, is this good for the consumer? Yeah, if you're somebody who wants to buy a car, you'll get a better car at a cheaper price. Yeah, for sure. But you could make the argument that like maybe you think the car industry or the auto industry or the EV industry is important to long-term have in your country. And in that case, you might want to strategically protect it. That's fine to do. I think these blanket all tariffs are just stupid mercantilism, but you could do that. But they're choosing not to do that as a way to get back at America, which is what they have to do. They've been forced into it. You talking about Iran? I've been wanting to, but so much stuff happens and it's hard to, I gotta have two people that are in the country sending me stuff. It's also just really heavy, man. All the footage I'm seeing, they sent me some, I watched clips they sent me from Telegram of people getting murdered. And it doesn't, it's brutal. It is brutal. I haven't really been in the mood to, and I don't know how to, it's hard to put it all together, especially in my month off. So, I could tell you it's a tragedy. I think the Ayatollah is terrible, but it's tough to, like we talked about it on the Lemonade thing quite a bit. Like I said, I'm pretty anti-intervention just because it doesn't work out. Like it generally doesn't work out. I can understand why someone might want it from that side. And again, the people I'm talking to, some of them do want it because they're caught. They're same like Carney. They're caught in a rock and a hard place. They got to take it. They got to try to get it. But, it's, what do you think is the best case scenario? The best case scenario would be that these protests worked, but I just don't think they will. Like if these protests worked They overthrew the Ayatollah. They established a interim government that led to elections. That'd be awesome. But that's just the problem is the Ayatollah has all the guns. The crackdown has been so vicious. It's been so the death toll is insane. And so it's just unlikely. It's just unlikely. What sparked the protest initially? This round of protest was sparked by the evaporation of the value of the Iranian currency. The currency went to fucking ash, and then they got rid of a food subsidy. So, like, there's the real exchange rate of how many dollars you can get for your Iranian rial, and there was a fake exchange rate that was given to certain people in the market to buy food and stuff that they could sell. They could import food. And they got rid of that fake exchange rate, the subsidized one. And so the people that run the stalls and all the markets, they just stopped. They closed all their shops and started protesting. And then people couldn't import water. They couldn't import food, bread, milk, like tons of things. Iran's a big importer of a lot of things, but especially food. How are they subsidizing it? Debt? Yeah, they were using like oil money and debt. Yeah. And it got too expensive, so they just stopped doing it. And so that began the protests, and they became massive because the Iranian regime, the Ayatollah is terrible. It's a brutally repressive, economically backwards regime. But they have the guns. They should have tried tariffs. A lot of the economy trouble is sanctions now. Well, I hate to get into this, but people talk about sanctions like if a country can't sell to America, for example, that they're guaranteed to be a corrupt, mismanaged hellhole. It's like, it's such a cop-out. It's like you shouldn't need to be able to sell to America to run your country correct. It's not the idea that America has to buy your stuff, otherwise you will go to shit, is absurd. And the proof of that is someone like China. Like, America did these massive 100% tariffs on China. China shrugged it off, bro. They just export things to other places. If you're an oil exporting nation, anyone will buy oil. Nobody was more sanctioned than Russia at the start of Ukraine war, and their economy went up. They sold to other people. It's just the true problem is that there's just deep, deep, deep corruption and mismanagement. That's it. You can be totally against American interventionism and a lot of, but I don't know why people have to cape for the Ayatollah or for Maduro. I never understood it. I don't get it, and I don't like to even get arguments about it because it just frustrates me. I don't understand why people have to cape for like these some of the worst people. I don't get it. It bothers me, but it's I don't think it's supporting either of them. Said the sanctions have the sanctions have an effect, but you can shrug them off with good management. If you have one of the most valuable goods on earth, which is oil, and oil is how do you even put? It's like it's not the word fungible. What am I thinking of? It's like 1 barrel of oil from here is the same as 1 barrel of oil from here. It's you can just change the label on the barrel. You can sell it anywhere. And maybe it's fun. It's a commodity. It's a universal. It's a commodity. Commodity is actually the word. It's a commodity. Everyone has found a way to sell oil. Russia sells a ton of oil, despite being the most heavily sanctioned country in human history. You can sell it. You can make money on it. But whenever it's where that money goes. Is that money going to the development of your citizens? Is that money going to build industry? Is that money going to education? Or is that money being siphoned off by your leaders in a corrupt way? Like it. Isn't Russia also struggling economically? Yeah, Russia is struggling economically. The sanctions are catching up to Russia eventually, but mostly it's because they lost 1 million plus men. And they burned through all their foreign reserves. I think I mentioned this on LS or on here. The Russia's special military operation in Ukraine is now longer than the Eastern Front of World War II. Russia has spent more time fighting Ukraine than they did the Nazis. That is fucking crazy. That's going to ruin your economy, sanctions or not. That is just war is like one of the worst uses of your money because you don't get anything out of it. You just blow shit up. You lose men, you lose lives. The things you build, like missiles and tanks, have no productive use. So of course they're set up for a disaster. People of Russia have Putin has just stolen decades from their future, regardless of how the war goes. Do you think Russia or Japan will be in a worse spot in 1 decade? That's a really good question because I think they're both on a really bad trajectory. That's very tough. Japan's got a higher starting spot. So the safer pick is that Russia will be worse. But we're in like this massive super cycle for commodities, which Russia has a huge amount of. Plus, China's rising, and Russia's got close ties with China. And Japan is just at the end of the line fiscally and has just the worst demographics. Just like they're losing population every day. And is like, and also has really, really antagonistic relationship with China when they're right next to China. So I don't know. It could be Japan's worse. Well, Japan can import Ludwig. Dude, that's the sad thing. Ludwig flipped. He went from Japan maxing to China maxing, dude. He doesn't even study Japanese anymore. He stopped watching Japanese stuff. He completely flipped. Shoegaze, I think, of the 5 gifted. Who's talking about Freeman today? Like that counts. Trump has a board of peace? I didn't even heard about this. Trump's board of peace. Rubio and Jared Kushner. Great. Tony Blair? Wow. Wow. This guy can pick them. I mean, he won the Peace Prize, so. He won the Peace Prize, folks. Rubio's in every department. Dude, it's every economic thing, he puts Scott Bessent on it, and every geopolitical or military thing, he puts Rubio on it. There are always people that can get anything done, so they're working like 9 jobs each. Everyone else is just tweeting. Everyone else in the administration's only job is to tweet and go on Fox News. And then those 2 people are in every cabinet in every it is wild. It's Maisie! Maisie! Hi, BFFL bestie. What is BFFL? Is that best friends for life? Did I just nail it? Nice. I got it. I fucking clutched it. Is there some... Wait. Lil Unk doesn't know BFFL. I figured it out, bro. I'm good. Where, I wanted to watch. Word on the street is I'm a chopped unk now that I'm past 25. I didn't want to say it, but as the young man of this whole group, I think anyone over 25 is unk status. Chopped, unk, old, doesn't get the references. Boomer. Okay? I gotta call it the way Linkus Donowald. I'm sorry, but Linkus is unk. What did Linkus say? Linkus said 6 to 7 Pepe law. Nah, he's chill. He's young. He's young, bro. He gets it. W. Cinemax, thank you for the gifted. Let's watch something economic, dude. Let's learn something, bro. Come on. I want to learn something. I want to watch let's watch Family Guy clips for 3 hours. Oh, I'm in. I want to become learnt. How money works? How money works. Does it actually have anything new? Harry Potter Fortnite? We still don't know how Epstein got so rich. I'm going to have to skip on that one. How money works about Epstein? It's like, I don't know if you guys know this. I have a sneaking suspicion that Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile. I'm starting to think that I'm literally about to say it. Like, I'm about to fucking go score shirt here. I think I'm gonna burn the tie. I think Jeffrey Epstein might have been a pedophile. And I think that a lot of his wealth and power came from connections that he made while running a child sex predator ring. And I know this is like controversial, but I'm gonna say it. CNN fake news, controversial, seems far-fetched. The financier? I know. Do you have evidence? Files of some kind? Apparently not. Isn't it kind of wild that fucking House, Senate, President all signed that they're supposed to be released in late December and they just didn't? They're just not out. They released 3% of the files and then we just stopped. And the 3% we did release were redacted so poorly that they clearly got scared of even doing the rest, even redacted. So they just stopped. The Walter White of China?
Picture this. It's April 20.
China's Breaking Bad fraud scandal? I don't know if I can trust this. I'm actually interested in I'm interested in what's the maybe it's dude, so much shit has happened. Dude, we also have like a bunch of there's like every European nation is sending like 5 troops to Greenland. Just to basically say, like, if you invade, you have to murder a European allies troop, and then we're gonna kick off fucking. It's wild. Everyone is just putting 5 troops there and basically saying you will have to murder NATO allied troops from every country. But that's not what I'm trying to find. What's that why Japan's economy is at a tipping point? That sounds kind of interesting, actually. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Wait.
In the past couple of years, Japan...
Wait. Is there any of these? Yeah, I wanted to see this one.
Trump's hard...
Because the ICE stuff is really unpopular. And I wanted to see... And immigration was like the last thing... Dude, I saw something. Wait, I saw something. This really blew my mind. Let me see if I can find it. This was crazy. Here, look at this. This is a CNN poll on 1 year of Trump, first year. Okay? And it goes through every inaugural pledge. He's negative on every single one. Here are a few things Trump pledged to do during his inaugural address last year. For each one, please say whether you think he's made progress, made things worse, or not had much effect on it. Restoring safety in the United States, negative. Law and order, negative. Bring back free speech, negative. Keeping our children safe, healthy, and disease-free, negative. Being a peacemaker and a unifier, 47% made things worse. Nobel Peace Prize, though. Probably shoot that right back up. Stopping weaponization of the Justice Department, 41%. Has he gone too far in making changes to institutions like the Kennedy Center? 60%. This is so funny to me. Every time I see polling on things, maybe it's just me. It's like, for me, not these examples, but like the ballroom is such a small thing. But then you talk to people and you see the polling and like, for some reason, people fucking hate the ballroom. I don't understand. It's like, whatever. He wants to build a ballroom. It's like, fine. It's like not even on my top 50, but people hate it. People are like, it's so gaudy. It doesn't make the people get really mad about the ballroom. I don't know if it's like, cause it's easier to understand or just because it doesn't, it's a very affordability thing. It's like, why are you spending on this gold plated ballroom? But it's so unpopular. Trying to reduce the price of everyday goods, not gone far enough. 64%, most deeply unpopular. I mean, he's most underwater on the economy, but now, he's underwater on everything. I think even on his last thing, the last one he had going for him was immigration. That was the last one. He was like 50-50.
Hardline immigration policies have always been remarkably popular with the American public. Most Americans support deporting all 12 million or so unauthorized immigrants in the country. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, commonly known as just ICE, has reliably enjoyed pretty solid approval ratings, and it all plays pretty well with his MAGA base. However, recent polling suggests that Trump and co. might have gone too far in their vehement defense of...
I mean, look, trade, economy, inflation, horrible. Inflation, which is the one that won him the election, people mad about inflation, we're at like negative 30. It's completely underwater.
The ICE agent
who
shot and killed Rene Good.
Even ICE.
So, in this video, we thought we'd take a look at what's happened over the past week or so, and why it looks like Trump's immigration policies might have finally backfired. If you love staying informed and want some of the best reporting on YouTube, then subscribe and ring the bell for more. So, let's start with a bit of context. Despite being pretty hardlined by both historical and international standards, Trump's immigration policies have actually been pretty well received in the US, at least relative to his other policies. According to Nate Silver's polling aggregator, for instance, on the issue of immigration specifically, Trump's net approval rating has hovered around -5 for the past 6 months or so. This is down from the start of Trump's second term, when he was in positive territory, but still better than basically every other issue.
Yeah.
For context, Trump's net approval ratings on the economy and trade have hovered at about -15 for the past 6 months or so, while his approval rating on inflation specifically has languished at around -30. His foreign policy numbers aren't much better either. According to RCP's poll aggregator, Trump's net approval on foreign policy...
This will turn around. They haven't polled him since he won the Nobel Prize, honorably, from Machado. And once people know about that, they're going to understand that he's a foreign policy genius who stopped 8 wars. And I think it's going to go 80-90% positive. And nobody in human history has ever won both the Nobel and the FIFA prize. To win both, that's like winning... You know, it's like it's like finals MVP and NBA all defense. It's insane. It's like you're getting both. That's EGOT territory.
He currently sits at about -10, although the most recent polls look even worse for him. The latest Ipsos poll, for instance, conducted between the 12th and 13th of January, put Trump's net approval rating on foreign policy at -17, with only 33% of Americans saying they agreed with Trump's notion of the Don Roe Doctrine, and more than double that saying that they would prefer the US only involve itself in conflicts where the US faces a direct threat. Anyway, you get the idea. While Trump was still underwater, immigration has long been his best issue, electorally speaking. This is at least part of the reason why his administration had been willing to...
Is there direct threats in Greenland? Any Danes want to fill me in? Is there a plan? Is there building a catapult in Greenland to try and hit America? Is there something? Because then my polling will change. I've been pretty against this Greenland. If you're a whale. Yeah, you could throw a fat joke in there too.
Push ahead with more hardline and
SEALs
controversial
guns?
policies, like deporting people to maximum security prisons in El Salvador or massively expanding
How many
ICE.
WMDs
While
are in
these
Greenland?
specific policies might not be that popular, they still drew the public's attention back to immigration and away from other issues like affordability, which is net good news for Trump's electoral prospects. It's also worth noting that Trump's immigration policies have been successful in their own terms, and more so than his other policies. Crossings via the southern border have fallen to essentially zero, and according to a recent report by the Brookings Institute, in 2025, net migration went negative for the first time in at least 50 years. Unfortunately for Trump, recent polling suggests that, in the eyes of the median American, the administration might have taken this strategy too far with their reaction to the shooting of Rene Good. For anyone who somehow missed this, Rene Good was a 37-year-old American.
WMD's waves of militarized Danes. Listen, I think we get the gist of this. What I'm saying is he's losing support on his last issue that he had going for him. How China is covertly keeping the Russian economy afloat. Wait, that sounds kind of interesting. You fucker. Oh, bro, I was so interested. Damn, I'm doubly let down. Fuck! I got rickrolled in the big 2-6. No fucking way, dude. In the big 2.6. That's brutal. That is brutal. Got him +2. Like a ferret to a football. All right, you guys know in the corner work with every fucking Bloomberg video on the yen. What's this? Oh, this is the one I wanted to talk about. Yeah, okay. This one looks really interesting, actually. Let's watch this. Why Japan's economy is at a tipping point. Bear in mind, though, I might say similar things. I've been working. This is part of my my predictions video I've been working on. Is I got a pretty dire feeling about Japan in 26, 27, bro. Despite Takaichi's popularity, the math's not looking good.
In 2016, this Japanese company issued a public apology.
6-7.
For the first time in 25 years, they were hiking the price of a popular ice cream by 10 yen, or about 6 cents. And they were deeply sorry. Now, in any other country, this might have been an overreaction. But in Japan...
Bro, I want to see the whole staff of my local Chipotle and the CEO out there bowing and apologizing to me for the price of my bowl going up by like $8. Okay? I can't fucking get it. I mean, I can get it. But I can't get it on Uber Eats at these prices. I can get it in person, but I'm mad about it. And then, dude, this is the real fucked up part. This is the fucking LA tax. Because I went in person to a Chipotle in northern Arizona recently, and I'm not kidding. The price was actually 1/2. The price was 1/2 what I paid at my local Chipotle. It's like we're one state over, and it's 1/2. That's fucked. That's so stupid. Labor costs. What, California? Well, they do have this tax at the bottom, they say, and it's for mandatory vax that you have to get at every Chipotle out here. And then also for, they build these giant statues of Marx out front of every Chipotle. And those are expensive. They build them out of solid fucking gold, and the price is up.
Inflation is just completely alien as a concept.
For 3 decades, the country saw stagnant or even decreasing prices, which is why a 10 yen price hike for an ice cream was such a big deal. But a huge slide in the yen is helping change that picture. And it's causing a seismic shift in Japan's economy. The yen has weakened against the dollar to a level not seen since the early 90s.
The weaker yen means higher prices for all sorts of imported goods, from groceries to gasoline.
Dude, in Japan, they're doing, it's causing a lot of ruckus. They're doing foreigner taxes, foreigner menus. Any places where you have like service of Japanese and foreigners, they have dual pricing. They give you a different price. They've been doing that? No, but it's ramping up. It's like a lot of people are doing it now. The dual mandate, is that illegal? I don't know if it's illegal, but they're doing it. I don't think it's illegal. But they are doing it. And it's causing a lot of, unrest, strife.
It's also making it pretty attractive for inbound tourists looking for a cheap...
It's like, I went there recently, and, I went to the park, and I was trying to pay the deer kicking fee so I could go kick as many deer as I could, and they gave me the foreigner price. And I was like, no, I want the Japanese local price for kicking a deer. And they were like, no, you had to pay more. It was crazy. And it was way more expensive. I kicked like 14 deer, could barely afford it.
Vacation. Steering the country through this once-in-a-generation cost of living crisis is the inaugural challenge for Japan's new leader.
Okay, but, and again, Takaichi, she's shockingly popular. She's got approval numbers you can't even imagine in a Western democracy. She's like 70, 80%. Her approval's insane. And what's funny is every time she's like, says some shit about China or Taiwan, her numbers go up again because China gets pissed at her. There's a rift there. But she's still new to the job, so it's still honeymoon period. So it probably will go down. But her plan to deal with this weakening yen and rising inflation is like a big stimulus package, which is how you got to this point to begin with. They're going to like triple down on printing money.
Tsunai Takaichi has been voted in as Japan's first female prime minister.
Japan has arrived at that big moment where there's a potential transformation of the entire society.
So how did Japan get to this point? And can it learn to live with rising prices? This unassuming grain has become emblematic of one of Japan's biggest challenges.
It's very much sort of entrenched
tasty.
in the Japanese psyche that if you go to the supermarket, eggs are going to be a certain price or rice is going to be a certain price.
You can see that here. For years, the price of rice in Japan barely changed, and sometimes it even dropped, but not anymore.
Yikes!
The price of rice has surged.
Well, you got to see this. I'm in the way. Look at that, bro. That's a great animation, by the way. That's the motion graphics. Holy fuck, this is sick.
Surged since 2023, and the problem extends beyond what's on the dinner table. Prices for energy, transportation, and housing have all been on the rise.
If you live in the US or the UK, seeing prices rise is not as foreign a concept as it is in Japan.
This has been a terrible shock. We have a whole generation of people who've never seen prices go up. What is going on?
Well, to answer that, you've got to rewind to the 1980s.
After 2 decades of rocketing expansion, the Japanese now enjoy the highest standard of living in Asia.
Bro, 80s Japan, unbeatable. The vibe looks insane. Just taking over the world is just like feeling like you're on a rocket ship. 80s Japan, they're 20 years ahead of the world, exporting everything, cars, electronics.
Japan's economy was expected to overtake America's. But around the late 80s, there was a bubble in asset markets, and this burst. Asset prices plummeted, stocks plummeted, property prices fell for more than a decade.
Deflation, layered on top of rising debt and an aging population, created a drag that suppressed Japan's growth for years.
Deflation is one of the biggest threats to Japan's economic recovery.
The exit strategy was to stimulate inflation through extreme monetary policy. The Bank of Japan, or BOJ, held interest rates at rock bottom for decades, even driving them negative. It also bought huge amounts of government debt that helped pour money into financial markets. Both factors helped weaken the yen sharply. But it didn't move the needle enough. Salaries stayed put, mortgages never budged, and price tags remained frozen.
These are sick.
Two massive forces broke the cycle. The first in 2020, when the world went into lockdown, triggering a global economic shockwave.
Then there was the Ukraine war. There was a big impact from that as well.
For a country like Japan that imports most of its energy, you're going to literally import inflation.
Prices started rising and inflation became sort of a thing.
Even so, Japan continued to keep interest rates at rock bottom levels, accelerating falls in the yen and fueling yet more.
It's just so funny because for those 2 decades, right, where Japan was saying, we have to have 0% interest rates, printing money nonstop, buying our own government debt, putting money into the stock market just to prop things up. We have to do this because we have deflation. And the second we get a little bit of inflation, we'll stop. But then they got the inflation and they didn't stop at all because by that point, everything was reliant on it. They built an entire economy around fucking government printing. And so now it's a runaway train. They still have like the lowest interest rates in the world and they have
inflation.
This is sick.
In 2023, it exceeded 4%, double the BOJ's 2% target. It was time to do something. And finally, Japan put an end to that massive...
I got to visit there.
It was time...
I went here, the Japanese central bank. I was here. It was sick. I got photos in front of it. I made Ari leave a place she wanted to go that was actually fun, and we went to the central bank. It was fucking sick. It was awesome. Evil man. And then we went into the currency museum across the street, and I made her walk through that with me. And we looked at all the old Japanese currency. And then I was like reading about... It was my day, okay?
Time to do something. And finally, Japan put an end to that massive money experiment.
The Bank of Japan hikes interest rates for the first time since 2007 and scraps yield curve control.
All that pent-up spending that didn't happen during the pandemic now comes in a big wave.
So much so that in early 2025, Japan's inflation rate was the highest among G7 countries. And this has pushed companies great and small to reevaluate their business plans.
この辺のものも全て軒並み2割ぐらいは以前と比べて上がっている状況ですね。今回の物価高の波で影響あったものというのが非常にやはり大きくて、いろいろ電気代とかそういうものも上がって。
Costs have also increased for packaging and other materials.
ですけども、現実お客様にそれだけの負担をどんどんかけることによって、購買意欲。
There's willingness to buy, it's ability, bro. It's inflation all over it. Fucking ruins people, especially if their wages aren't keeping up.
すごく落ちちゃうんで。
Why is the music going? I don't know why the music is like a fucking dance track as they're talking about Japanese people being unable to afford basic goods. Why is it like blah 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 blah? Yeah, so the prices keep rising at faster rates. What do we? It's such a crazy. The editor went insane on this for kind of no reason. Like a normal Bloomberg video is like just the interview clips here.
As prices have risen, slow wage growth has become a major concern.
I've talked to some, small business owners, and they want to raise wages, but being forced to do that has actually added a lot of pressure for them as well.
They're vibing though.
1000円台超える前ぐらいからうちも結構1200円台で時給取ってたんですけど。
Minimum wage has caught up or even surpassed that, depending on the prefecture. So Masashi Miwa is faced with paying as much as 1,500 yen per hour to attract quality staff.
きついですね。はい。
While minimum wages have risen, they haven't kept up with prices. You can see that here. Wages adjusted for inflation, also known as real wages, have actually been in decline.
This is why the ruling Liberal Democratic Party hasn't done as well in the past couple of elections.
We'll come back to what this means for the new prime minister shortly. But first, there's something worth remembering.
Japan wants inflation. Policymakers in Japan have been trying to generate inflation for over a decade.
The problem is that it doesn't want too much, or for it to rise too quickly.
An appropriate amount turns into a virtuous cycle. Prices rise, people seek higher wages, people kind of consume and spend more.
But that cycle hasn't arrived yet, and Prime Minister Takaichi needs to maintain stability while society and the economy adjust.
Policymakers have been trying to sustain the patience of the consumers and the voters by giving them subsidies to keep the edge off the cost of living crunch for the basics.
These are kind of countermeasures that have wide-ranging impacts on not just the economy, but also fiscal spending,
But it's counterproductive.
revenue, government revenue.
Because these subsidies don't come for free. They're funded through borrowing at a time when public debt is already off the charts.
Japan has the biggest...
Dude, it's like being in debt so you can't afford things and being like, well, morale is down in our household. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stimulate by taking out a different credit card so we can buy goodies and treats to get our morale back up. It's like, bro, the problem is the massive debt. The debt is...
national debt load of any advanced nation, over 200% of GDP.
Pushing interest rates higher could help cool inflation. And the BOJ did just that.
The Bank of Japan raising its benchmark interest
So
rates
what,
the
like
highest
1%?
in 30 years.
Problem is,
It's going to make servicing that national debt more and more expensive. The pace at which...
They say highest in 30 years. I promise you. What is the Japanese interest rate right now? It's like 1.8. Like they raised it. Like, because they can't raise it higher. Because the higher it goes, the more they got to pay on interest in their own debt. And they have such massive debt. It'll take up the entire government budget. If they had like 5% as their interest rate, they literally couldn't afford a government. They couldn't afford, I'm not even speaking military. They couldn't afford anything. The government would have no money. So that's why they're in a rock and a hard place. And that's why they pretend like, oh, we want a little bit of inflation, but you can't stop the train once you're going. The policy rate's 0.75. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The Bank of Japan raises interest rates has key significance for the yen. So for currency traders, companies doing businesses, exporters, importers.
so it's tricky to say the least, and Japan brings other unique complications to the table.
Japan has an aging society. They're reliant on pension incomes that are not substantial enough to sustain them through after retirement life.
日本って何だったっけ、その物価スライド制っていう物価が上がるほど年金は上がらないよっていう仕組みを取っているので、やっぱり自助努力っていうか自分である程度貯金運用はしとかないといけないなというのをやっぱりこの物価が上がることによって結構ひしひしと感じ始めたかな。
We've seen a large movement of money.
What is this?
かな。
What is this poster of?
We've seen a large movement of money from savings into stocks. And this has been facilitated by government policy, enabling people to open accounts where they get beneficial tax breaks.
You can see this shift in the stock market. In 2025, the Nikkei, an index of Japan's biggest companies, hit a record high.
If growth can be restored, this means these companies are going to be worth investing in.
The mindset of the ordinary person in the street is that inflation is a thing. They have to adjust their lives to it, and Japan is probably not going back to deflationary, stagnant prices anytime soon.
So the key question for Japan's inflation story is, can the economy recreate the innovation and the vibrancy it saw in the late 1980s?
Or is it risking the stability and security it's had for a future in which households can't keep up with prices and we see growing inequality?
I think that maybe Ohtani can fix it. Maybe if Ohtani hits enough homers, it'll somehow supercharge Japan's economy back to being world leading and productive. But anyway, I think that video did a great job. And the graphics were great. Obviously, I've talked about similar things, but I just fully think that Japan's like actually hitting the hard place. They're between the rock and the hard place. They're getting closer. Really interesting video from LTT about their expenses as a company. Linus Tech Tips did a video on their expenses. The truth about how LTT spends money. Well, that sounds kind of interesting.
We have talked before about how LMG makes money.
But I don't want to watch the whole thing.
The vast majority of our revenue comes directly from our audience through sales of our products or from watching our content, either on YouTube or over on Floatplane, where our incredible float goats subscribe for extra content, early access, and perks. The rest of it comes indirectly from our audience in the form of sponsorships and affiliate links.
Okay.
And that's why when we make a decision, you are our guide. We are laser focused on serving our audience with the products we develop and the content we create.
This is an ad.
Which is why it's time, finally, to have the talk. What happens to the money? How does Linus Media Group spend money? How much of it does Linus keep? I'm gonna tell you all of it. But first, I'm gonna need to get some money from our sponsor.
Meter.
There's a 50-second ad into a sponsor. That was an ad for your own merch, then an ad for your own media service, then a sponsor. Well, I want to know what.
I really didn't want to kill our accounting department preparing this. So before we begin, I want to acknowledge that the data that they prepared does contain some rounding and some quick math. So take it for what it is. It's a big picture look at expenses for the last couple of years with windows of insight into the smaller details. With that out of the way, let's begin.
Okay.
Across 2024 and 2025, our largest expenses, combining for 50% of our total, were inventory purchases and people. Now, when I say inventory, that doesn't include cameras and editing workstations and that sort of thing. I'm talking about the 4% we spend on apparel, the 8% we spend on backpacks and other gear items, and the 14% that we spend on screwdrivers and other items to stock in our warehouses and ship around the world.
I consider my employees as inventory expenses. So none of my budget goes towards people. Because I keep them all, I keep Adish in a warehouse. You know what I'm saying? And he just works 24/7.
It's kind of wild to think about, right? Mm-hmm. A quarter of our expenses are buying inventory for LTTstore.com. Now, in theory, these are sound investments that should generate profit for us. So, no big deal, right? But nothing is a guarantee. We've had our share of duds over the years, and even for successful products, managing cash flow for a growing business can be extremely challenging. If you buy too little, your store looks abandoned. You buy too much, and you might be short on money for payroll. The big load-in that we had for Black Friday this year required pretty careful coordination between Creator Warehouse and our accounting department. By the way, thank you for being part of it, and don't forget to leave a review for your purchase. We do read them, and we care a lot about your feedback. The next biggest expense for LMG is people, but we'll come back to them later because I want to dive a little bit deeper into that. So first, let's talk about product fulfillment. Why don't you guys have a European distribution center, you might ask? Well, because the distribution channels that we have now are already 10% of our total company expenses. Guys,
I'm just gonna look at the chart. Overhead, product fulfillment, tax installments, selling costs, capital expenditure, inventory purchases, people and profit. Okay. It's just crazy because if you were to do this for Mogul Moves, it's like 98% Aiden stealing $3 million. And then everyone's salary would be squished right here. And then Ludwig's not even really profit. It's just stupid shit that he buys. There's like that. It would be such a. How is profit an expense? Well, no, they're just filling the gap, right? These are all the expenses, and they fill where all the money's going. 15% pays it out to the owners. I will say, I guess I shouldn't say, but I saw the Mogul bank account yesterday or like 2 days ago. They're running light. They're running light. Okay. It's pay as it comes, dude. I've never seen such a big negative number. Negative 3 million is like I didn't know Chase would do that. There's a reason Ludwig's putting in 8-hour Minecraft days. That's all I'll tell you. The reason Ludwig's watching every Minecraft movie that comes out. Let me tell you, it's because they got to keep the. Thoughts on Jokic eating a Taco Bell quesarito? Finally, a real fucking question, bro. Finally, something we can get to them. Is this an ad? That's an ad. That shit looks good, though. That shit looks good. Oh, it literally says Taco Bell partner. Yeah, that's an ad. What's this? There's a sports betting scandal where Shane Hennon said, "Nothing guaranteed in this world but death, taxes, and Chinese basketball." There's a Chinese Basketball Association betting scandal? Your Honor, everyone knows Guangdong been on a heater. That's funny. Do you want to see real match fixing? Go to any esports league that's not the top tier. Any like collegiate esports league, any like B tier, any like feeder league, any qualifier league. Every one of those is rigged fucking to high heaven. Mid-tier Valorant esports? Yeah, that's just a fucking, that's a. What do you think about the Dodgers signing the top free agent? Is this what this is about? Everyone's been saying some fucking Dodgers shit. I'm not a baseball guy. Is the story here that Dodgers won back-to-back and are now signing the top free agent and it's like, oh, fuck these guys. Is that the story? The story that the rich get richer? Okay, I'm caught up. Does baseball not have a salary cap? They don't have an apron? Baseball salary cap. Damn, they really don't? Like, not one at all? That's so funny. That's so... And that's an optional salary cap? What does an optional salary cap mean? It's optional. This is an optional speed limit. You can drive as fast as you want, but like optionally, you could stay under 60. They have a luxury tax. They get away with that players deferring portions of the, oh, it's like where Ohtani has like the he's got like a 500 million contract or whatever, but they pay him 10 million every year. And then at the end, it's like it's like 150 million a year. It's all deferred to the end. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's actually 2 million a year. Well, he makes 2 mil now and then wait. Ohtani contract. I did a video on this. I just don't remember the numbers. Look at his fucking $700 million contract. It's $2 million a year until 2033, and then it's $70 million a year after he's clearly no longer. That's so funny. That's so funny. Dude, this guy could save Japan. Wait, I guess Japan's economy is going to be fucked right until 2033. And then the Otani payments kick in. He's going to send some of that back home. The country's saved. Otani-nomics. There are 6 owners of teams where their net worth is less than that contract. Yeah, I mean, Otani's the star, bro. He's the man. Pay him what he's worth. I just think the way, I mean, it's obviously like a little bit of fuckery, right? No salary cap, deferred payments. Like all these teams are doing tricks. They're doing tricks on it. And they're doing tricks to try and squeeze out advantages. I think you probably do need a salary cap. It's not that it's. I get the bargaining power of the players, and I get all that, but I just, if you value a competitive sport with different teams winning, you have to have some way to equalize the fact that some teams are wealthier, like much, much wealthier. There just has to be. Otherwise, the richest teams will always win. Heard the other teams are just cheap. You could add a floor. You could raise the floor, or you could. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of creative solutions, but the way they're doing it now just seems to be that it kind of snowballs. Yeah, like Steve Ballmer is 50 times richer than every other NBA owner. What you have to do is you have to force Steve Ballmer to pay his players through fake tree companies that never get investigated. That's do it honestly like the NBA. I just can't stand this tomfoolery in baseball. We need to have everyone in the MLB should get paid through fake green tree companies, like an honest league like the NBA. The Dodgers have to pay 110% tax, so the dude they just signed is costing them $110 million a year. Yeah, but if they win 3 in a row, right, the money pays for itself. I feel like the aprons in the NBA are way more punishing. I don't have the exact stats, but I feel like it makes it like impossible. It's insane, Ballmer. It actually is fucking insane. That I thought for sure they would say something, but it's now obvious they're just gonna. They just said, "Hey, wait, we're gonna do an investigation," so they can wait till everyone stops paying attention, and they're just gonna move on. It's crazy. It was as obvious as it could possibly be that Steve Ballmer illegally circumvented the cap to pay Kawhi Leonard under the table. And they're just not going to do anything about it. And everyone knows it, and they're just not going to do anything about it. It's so wild. You know what I think happened, though? This is my honest opinion. I think they might have thrown him under the bus if Kawhi Leonard didn't start balling. I think if Kawhi Leonard was dropping 8 points a night, they would have fucking got him. But in like the past few months, he's gone crazy. And so everyone's just like moving on. Everyone's like, well, he's fun to watch. He's doing well. He locked in. Who took the bigger L, Maduro or Steve Ballmer? Who took the bigger L? The guy that's in federal prison after getting kidnapped from his own country, or Steve Ballmer, who got no punishment at all and is a billionaire? Is that a real question? That's your. It's a toss up. It's prison's kind of like free housing though. Plus, I think he gets to chill with SBF. SBF, same prison. Balmer because he doesn't get the gift of starting over. Trump only put Maduro in prison as a friend to help him get his life back on track. It's tough love. I really believe in you. You're a talented guy. And I want to give you the chance to break your bad habits and start over. Wow, that's a powerful message. I did see. Wait. Oh fuck! I don't know if I have it, dude. Maduro. They were reading the charges. Oh, someone has to have this. Dude, one of the Maduro charges was like, it was something so, it was like, no, I did the machine gun. I talked about that. Another machine gun. That wasn't, it was like recently. One of the charges was so, it was like woke. It was just so funny coming from this administration. It was like Maduro was illegitimately using native land or something. It was oh fuck, dude, I gotta find it. It's too hard to find it. Everyone just tweets the word Maduro and everything. And I don't have a fucking. It's like he didn't do the proper land acknowledgement or something. Let's see. I'm looking at the fucking. I can't find it. Whatever. It's very funny, but. Okay. Anyway. Any hoots. You've been charged with a capital wokeness crime. Guys, I think I'm going to call it. Fun stream today. I'll do a 6-7 for you as I go out. I liked this. Good energy, good vibes. I do have stuff. I should probably finish this Iran presentation, but it's so depressing, man. But I should do it, and I will do it. Good talking to you. Good energy, good vibes. Wait, funny clip. I can't do another funny. This is the one with Chili's. We're playing Minecraft tomorrow. We're not playing Minecraft, but tomorrow's Friday, or today's Friday? Today's Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow we'll do GSS, but I might start a little early. I do want to. Well, I don't want to say it yet. I have an idea, but I don't know if I can do it. Anyway, much love. Sevens. No, new daily game dropped? What's this? Wait, someone made a daily game. Wait. Before I leave. Somebody on. Oh my God. I went to the Reddit, which is already a bad idea. Can't decide what the better nickname is for his Atrioc arc. And the options are Big A or TurboTax. That is horrible. The Reddit's back, baby. Okay, wait. What was that? There's like, oh, by the way, if you guys want to know where TurboTax wins with their sponsor money, they sponsored Steal a Brain Rot. They sponsored Steal a Brain Rot in Roblox. So, great. A better use of the cash. This is it. This is it. A Wordle for stocks. I made a Wordle for stocks for a coffee cow. Stockle.fun. I thought that'd be fun. I was going to try and fucking promote something good. Stockle.fun. Maybe we'll make it part of the fucking how to play Stockle. Guess the daily stock in 6 tries. Each guess shows you how close you are to the answer. Color gradient, green closer, red farther, arrows. Google, AMD, Amazon. Okay, I see. Okay. So I got to guess this stock. Okay. It is a stock that did very well in 2024 and 2025, but was kind of flat post-COVID. It's $120 a share, so that leaves out a couple big ones I can think of. Not like NVIDIA or Google. Google's looks way different. It is probably like an airline. I feel like this is like United. I know had a good 2024. This is probably United Airlines. United Airlines. Air? UNH? No, wait, what? United. Huh. Air. Maybe Delta? What? They don't have fucking airlines in here? All right. Which companies are in this? Is it only S&P companies? There's not even that. Okay. Well, I don't know then. What about show market cap? Does it tell me? I gotta just guess when to get the market cap. What is this? Filter stocks by sector, industry. What about airline? Consumer defensive. Real estate. Utilities. Unknown. I don't know. I just need to get one to get the market cap. Let's do 24.25 big spikes. Let's do like fucking monster. Okay? So it is consumer defensive with a higher market cap than 76 billion and a lower PE. So, and it had a good 24.25. Oh, it's probably Costco or Walmart. It's probably Pepsi didn't. Coca-Cola didn't have these numbers. Costco probably rose. Walmart probably rose. These are all lower. Procter & Gamble didn't have a 24.25 like this. It's Costco or Walmart. Philip Morris didn't have a good year like this. Did Walmart have a good 24.25? They had a good 24. Do I have a different clue? Higher price. Damn, if I had something different. Because I think Walmart is like a. Oh, this is Walmart. Walmart's like, because I know Costco's like $1,000 stock because they don't do splits. They don't have a split. It's fucking, no, it's Walmart. It's Walmart. Boom, baby! That's not bad. That's not bad. We get there. We fucking get there. It kind of makes it easier though when you could. It'd be interesting to try. I think if you were doing stands rules, you can't allow this. The little search thing to see the options. But that was still sick. That's a fun game. That's a fun game. We'll put that in the rotation. Thanks. Who made that? Let's give a shout out to Any East. Any East. Check it out. Get Northern Line to play it. Guys, thanks for watching. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. See you tomorrow. Peace. Deuces.